rolling
gravity well.
Like 2 weeks in a row. Are you just hoping that we just miss it 1 week?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Me?
Yeah.
But I always roll really high, and no one else gets to roll. That was a gravity well joke.
Oh.
Ooh.
12.
12. I'd say it's reasonable to re-roll, but are you feeling lucky, punk?
There is no prey.
We're sitting at
Play.
12.
There is only prey.
Let's roll.
Let's roll.
14.
Nice.
Oh, it keeps getting better with every roll.
I think you beat my roll last week.
I think
I haven't actually rolled the
It went from 14
gravity
to
well.
16.
Roll,
baby.
What is happening?
We got 2 rolls. We could beat a 14.
5.
You're doing great.
This is why you don't roll.
Sorry, guys. This is my job.
Okay.
Or 3 rolls. Taylor, did you roll already?
Not yet.
Okay.
6.
No pressure.
I've got my caramel ones. Thank you, though.
Save the best for last.
Ooh, do you want to roll right here and then we can...
Yeah, but
No, don't roll it on that, please.
Taylor,
You'll
don't
check the paint.
mess this
Okay.
up.
Well, can you reorient that somewhere so we can just...
I could.
If you want to do that.
You will be in trouble.
Here.
Still looks
let's do it.
good.
Let's do it right there.
Yes, on that snowy peak.
Right here.
All right, I'm going to try to go for it.
Okay.
Oh.
So close
We
to
only
a
lost
20, though.
So close.
Shall we put a bird upon that?
Let's
I
put a bird
know.
upon it.
It's not even 50%.
No.
Glorious.
All right, well, someone's going to die today.
It's about time.
A 13 is almost as good as what we had as a
What are the
14.
spade tokens doing in the waterfall?
It was
Someone
for...
might be adopted
Keith
by
was staging a photo.
It was
It's
for
to give
the...
the,
We were tossing them into the fountain.
it's like where
Yeah.
the water falls down and sort of.
Yeah, and how many fate points did you guys have left? You guys should take back your fate points that you
I
had.
wrote it on my character sheet.
Yeah.
I just
3.
had half
I
the
had
roll.
3.
I had 2.
I believe I had 2 and 3.
Why did I use a 3 point?
Here, you can keep these. Let's go.
Oh, I used it. Talking to Alexa.
The characters.
13 is unlucky, but
Here we go.
we're
Oh my
definitely
God.
not gonna
I had
starve.
3.
It's not unlucky.
Yeah, but how does Alexi feel about that?
Shit!
He's superstitious.
Super, super great.
Ooh.
But he doesn't know that that's metagaming.
Yeah,
right?
totally, yeah.
Metagaming.
These gods rolled this dice above me.
Yeah.
It could be a
The
super
Snowvine
level.
burst up and grabbed this guy by the face, pulled him down under the snow. I imagine that his legs are like twitching. Sticking up from the
Yeah.
ground.
For a few seconds before then, he just pulled
Gets
completely
pulled
under the
completely
snow.
under. Yeah, the chieftain shoots up, it grabs his weapon that's like sitting at his side there, and yeah, what is this? What are you doing? You just killed one of his dudes. You murdered somebody right in front of him.
Yeah.
Wait.
upset.
Can you edit memories?
Can I edit memory? No. I don't think so.
Can you just cast an illusion? No, there's no
Are
hole.
you saying set the house on fire? Is that how we edit memory?
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, I remember something if you did.
Firla steps forward and says, I am no curse of this land.
Yet you come here and murder our people?
That is repayment for the years of suffering I've had to deal with and being chased from this village, landless, without friends or companions, believing myself a curse of the land just because some ignorant villagers thought I was different and strange.
I remember you now. You were friends with the witch, weren't you?
She raised me from a seed. She's a mother to me more than just a friend.
She was a murderer too, and now she's dead.
And
That's what we do to murderers here.
I suppose you have no blood on your hands either. Or something.
I don't even know what you're trying to say with that, honestly. The blood of those who threaten our people. The blood of the whale that I drag in with my own arms to feed my people. And now you come here and murder my friend in front of my eyes? I should have your head.
What side was this guy standing on?
I mean, he's here by the throne. Here's his other guard guy, because there was 2 guards.
Yeah.
I guess this guy was probably... I was seeing that you had backed up over here, and this guy had, like, stepped up and had called you out.
So it was he was standing to the king's left.
Yeah.
Is that a statue or is that a shaman?
That's a shaman. There was an advisor character that opened the flap and let you guys in.
Okay.
Yes, and that's all of the people that are here.
So
and that is what I had said before.
Non-combatants, or is that person also?
You don't know.
Okay. So
I mean, they let you in, and they seem to be some sort of a shaman, so they might have spellcasting.
I'm just confused because that base is a square, and I wanted to know if that was a prop or if that was
Gotcha.
actual.
No, just some of them are made differently.
Got it.
He doesn't seem to. Yeah.
No, you.
He's pretty darn upset.
What say the rest of you? Is this you come here and you make offers to me to make me rich off of your foolish quest, and then your thing comes in here and murders my people? You sweeten me up with your milk and then you kill my men? What is this?
Yiirik's got his head down. Yiirik's not looking up. Yiirik is embarrassed as well.
I'll stick up for the green friend.
Our guide Snowvine only acted in self-defense. If the man was not stepping up to with aggression, then the Snowvine would not have acted.
Stumbled over that shit.
He made a threat and then was ambushed like a coward. Cowardly murder. Didn't even show itself. What is that thing?
What's more cowardly than to cast blame on a creature you don't understand?
That thing is me. But in the way of your tribe, an eye for an eye, and I Firla rolls their sleeve up, their left arm, and steps forward and is like, he was your left arm, you can take my left arm.
If Jimothy was here, he would be like, I mean, that would be quite a nice staff, but he's not. So.
I am unfamiliar with your customs, and I must say these negotiations have gone rather unpredictably. However, I would be more than willing to negotiate some alternative reimbursement for your loss. Of course, including leaving immediately, as we have behaved rather outside of what most would call acceptable behavior.
I think we were fine.
And I'll back that up with rapport.
Okay.
If you'd like.
Yeah.
Back that up, B. Back
It's
it
a
up.
+3.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had a moment of thinking of something else. Give me what were you doing there, real quick?
That was rapport. To just smooth things over, say I'd rather not have. Well, let's do something other than cut off Firla's arm.
She's asking for a revised deal.
And you
Yeah,
had-
like an alternative.
What was your total?
We're like, all right, we lost some bargaining.
Well, I was.
You're reporting.
Not a.
I mean,
I'm
you're overcoming an
out of
obstacle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
so-
saying we need to negotiate. I'm saying let's not cut off Firla's arm, and we are willing to leave if that is what you'd like. I'm willing to pay you if that is what you'd like. I'm willing to give you more goods.
Could we cauterize
I'm
your
willing to
arm
just
with
go.
his flames?
Well,
to stop
so I'm treating that rapport as an overcome an obstacle,
Sounds good.
and you did not overcome the obstacle yet. He says no. An eye for an eye, or even better, that thing. It was not your left arm that took my man. What of that creature?
That creature is my heart. I've not destroyed your tribe, I've taken your left arm.
Your heart, you say?
Metaphorically speaking.
It is me. Because I am the Snowvine, and it is me.
The shaman steps forward.
Oh, motherfucker.
and says,
Life cannot be given to such a thing without another life. Yes, your heart came from one of us. That is why the witch was murdered. The woman you call your mother, your doting mother, hatched you from a seed, yes? At the cost of one of our villagers' lives.
Do I know anything about this?
nope,
Did she ever
sorry.
tell me anything about this? Yeah.
Nope.
The past is the past. Firla, please leave.
They are going nowhere.
That thing is going nowhere.
I have hired Firla to be my guide on this quest. I will settle the score with you. In any way you deem appropriate, save compensation with Firla's life.
There is no amount of money that you can give me that will repay my friend's life. This demands justice from the gods.
Very well, then I'm sure the gods will take care of everything.
No, the gods see the balance of what is taken and what must be taken back in return.
Are you proposing to act for the gods? Do you have someone all parties would agree acts on behalf of the gods?
Jimothy.
Obvious answer.
He pokes his head in from like there. Did someone call for my name? Well, let me come on in. Does he tap asses in?
He gestures to his shaman standing at his side. Yes, the spiritual advisor of our village.
Firla? Is this individual an adjudicator whom you respect?
You don't know that. I mean,
yeah.
You maybe remember this person from when your witch was here, but I don't think they have any significance.
I don't think it totally matters. I just agree. Yeah.
You say yes?
Yeah, I don't trust. I doubt that I would trust this person at all, but in order to, if this is what they want, kind of thing, yeah, out of character.
Come on, man. Kangaroo court. Kangaroo court.
Yeah.
That's what this shit is.
So be it.
Yeah, he wants at least your arm is where he's at right now. Your left arm, if not the Snowvine. Also, you guys haven't really been rolling against him or doing much, so
I was gonna ask
if you want to try to shift that.
Does provoke
and it's a high DC effectively because of the situation.
I
Right?
would like to try and do something with Tay.
before he does, and I'm not gonna act. I just wanted a quick clarification. Does provoke also work as intimidate? Or
Yes.
Okay.
It effectively is intimidate.
That's all I want
yeah.
to know.
It does damage, but it also is like maybe causing them to shift their acting toward you.
Alright, I'm going to attempt to enchant with Tay. She's going to sort of step up and look at the shaman directly, hearing that this may fall in the balance of this one shaman. She's going to look at the shaman and she's going to say, "You, shaman, the spiritual leader of this village, I feel like you, of all people, could understand that one life has been lost here. If we stop now, it'll only stop it. But if we decide to make poor choices, I feel like there will be many more deaths here in this tent."
Alright, give me a roll.
It's gonna be a 6.
Dang, dude.
Okay. This is entirely a like field it to the table and see what you guys think. I mean, typically when you're casting a spell, it's maybe kind of apparent that you're casting a spell.
Somatic.
So I feel like while he might not be aware of it,
Okay.
I feel like others would be aware that that she's casting a spell.
Okay.
Because yeah, you at least got to be waving your hands and like, you know, unless you're trying to do it like sneakily, and then in which case it's probably like harder.
As in that would aggro the other guys.
Yeah.
If they saw it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's, I mean, honestly, I'm taking that kind of from D&D, but this is all kind of like rooted in.
Maybe she's got like silence meta magic or something.
Silence.
Did you take the feat? the stunt. Right? If you want to do that, that seems like a thing that could be done, but it would be a
Did she
stunt.
get stunts?
We haven't made any of that
I
up.
didn't think NPCs got stunts. I did not take it. I mean,
Yeah.
Or you could be attempting to enchant everyone in the tent, and in that case,
that would be like an added difficulty.
It would still be more difficult, but
added difficulty.
you wouldn't have to worry about that. How many people?
Well, either way, I'll roll a will for this.
I mean, I could, yeah.
He has a 3 right now. So I ended up at a 4. Yeah, I mean, I think the enchantment lands on him, but I think the others notice. If you still want to go with that, I mean, I know that you didn't really realize that was the case before doing
it.
So
realize. I mean, I could. I don't know if this would make much sense because that wasn't necessarily rapport, you know? It was more like an intimidation and trying to sort of like...
yeah.
I was gonna say, I could try to do that if you want to save your enchantment for when this will inevitably go south.
Yeah, that's difficult. I think that... I mean, I would assume that she would be attempting to be as discreet as possible about it, but I don't know how much more. Can I spend a fate token to boost something that Tay is doing?
Yeah,
I just don't know if that would get. I just don't know if that would get us there. You know.
Well, you would succeed with style at that point, so maybe that could be the aspect.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a fate point.
Up to Josh, really.
And I'm going to evoke Can't Help But Steal the Show, because she is really wanting to win over everyone's favor by getting us out of this tent with some flair.
Okay.
So she's attempting to like, basically that is just to like hide her move, you know, like hide her spell basically, so that others can't see.
Okay. Gosh, it's so weird with enchantment magic because I'm like it gets sticky as to like if somebody even can consciously whatever, but these people are savvy negotiators. You're like negotiating a deal with him, and I feel like yeah, I'm boosting him because they're savvy negotiators.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a way that it could go is that you do cast the spell and like and you land it, and it seems like he's enchanted, but one of the other ones notices something.
They're like, he's acting strange all of a sudden. Understood. Yeah, that makes sense.
Is that cool?
That makes sense. And so just like moving forward, enchanting, not something you can do just by like looking and talking to someone. Like it's a little bit more showy.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, all magic.
Gotcha.
Basically, pretty much all magic requires like.
That makes sense.
At the very least, like words and
generally
hand waving.
Yeah.
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 Well, yeah, and I mean, this isn't a D&D game, but like in D&D, you have to take feats and stuff to be able to cast spells silently and and like really like sneaky like that without people even noticing.
Sure. Okay.
Or like you're in a situation that you've set up that you're like being stealthy or you're far away or something. Like it maybe seems feasible in the right circumstances.
Okay.
Or like if there's a lot going on, right, and you're invoking whatever to have them like not notice or something. I guess I could have rolled to have them notice in the future. If you're trying to hide something.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So she says that, and the shaman like nods and turns to the chieftain, But the chieftain says, "What is this witchcraft?"
Guys, are we the bad guys?
In this situation, you absolutely are. Yeah.
There's no doubt.
Wait, just in the judge. We killed his right hand man on basically no aggression. And we're still saying basically pray and I'll alter the deal.
Oh god.
Your arm, curse, and you will leave with your head. Okay, so what is this going to be an extreme consequence? Does that seem like the right
I think so.
thing, right? So extreme consequences are
6
I
or
think
severe.
they're even different than that.
Oh.
So an extreme consequence is basically like a last ditch effort that characters have. I don't know if they can only take them when they've filled up their other things is the idea. Gosh, this book.
I could look it up.
It's okay, you can regrow it, right?
Yeah, extreme consequences. I know are in there.
If I am allowed to regrow it, I still think it would take the entire campaign to do it.
Yeah, so extreme consequences become permanent aspects. So it would actually overwrite one of your aspects.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like Ash is thinking about doing something, but I feel
I
like
have a
he would
geographical
probably
question.
Mm-hmm.
How close are we to the Frostforge?
A long ways.
Are there trade routes between here and there?
Man, probably not really. It would be, it's like, the map and the barrier mountains are like here, and like the Frostforge is here and Ekshaw is here, so it's basically on opposite sides of the Forlorn Wastes. So like the only way to get there is probably going like south and through the kingdoms and then back up. It would be a very, very long trip.
Alright, Yiirik steps forward. I'm sorry for your companion. I cannot say that I've known Firla for too long, and though their Snowvine is aggressive, I do not think them to be dangerous people, intentionally. My name is Milksmith. Have you heard of me?
Of course. Right?
What is my name?
I think you gave him some milk last time and had a bit of this conversation before, but
I have one of the largest properties known to the dwarves of the Frostforge, and I believe it would be more than valuable for you to have some sort of trade route in between you and there. More than valuable. I cannot say it will atone for the death of your friend, but I can speak for the rest of your people.
make me a rapport check. This is probably like a... At this point, he wants Firla's arm. In order to change him, it's going to have to be like a fantastic success.
I will give you backup and add, Milksmith speaks wisdom. Rather than let the gods adjudicate in some petty exchange of limb for life, you could sustain not only your people who yet live, but the future of your tribe. If you took us up on our offer, I come from no mean resource, nor does Yiirik. We could provide you with more ships, more tools, anything you need to bolster your entire community here.
Promises from ghosts who have simply yet to pass to the next world. You travel to the Forlorn Waste into your deaths. what you give me now, because I do not believe you will return.
Absolutely. So that was just flavor
Yeah.
to give you
Yeah.
a +1. That was a +1.
All of that for a +1.
I'm rolling with a +2 here. I got a +2.
Yay!
That is not a fantastic success.
Wait, what's your rapport?
It is a 1.
Oh, I should roll. Because I have a +4.
I've got a +2.
Okay.
So that was technically a +3.
You should give me a +1.
That could also happen. I don't know how you feel about that. I mean,
I think that's technically how teamwork is supposed to work, but I wasn't really. I was trying to tack onto your action,
Yeah.
so we kind of did it.
I don't really care how you guys want to
Yeah,
do it in
you
the
roll.
future. If it should be the person with the highest.
I will give you a +1.
So that's a +5 with teamwork operating per the rules.
Still, it does not do it
Yeah.
yet.
Firla.
Anyone else have rapport?
Tay, but
I mean, Tay, but
another
she
tactic.
is not. She is deemed untrustworthy at this point.
Can I give up fate tokens to boost her thing? We weren't able to find anything about that in the rules before, but I was looking for it.
I feel
last
like
week.
it seems weird to me.
Okay.
Sure, I can add +2. I'm entangled in the web of social intrigue. I know which strings to pull, and this is my last effort to save what in Lhanji's mind is more or less her. Firla is Lhanji's resource. She would rather not
Yeah.
have her guide
Yeah.
and arm down, so.
Never lose.
Because an arm down in the snowy wastelands of a mountain is
Well,
like.
that gets us to +7.
Think about it.
Savvy negotiators.
Come on, man. Don't you have like weapons and stuff on your trade routes?
I'm
That's
sorry, I'm being a
technically
dick,
arms.
Keith.
That's arms, right?
arms for arms?
Yeah.
He wants your arm. At least I don't know about if extreme consequence seems right, but at least a severe consequence that would still stick with you for a very long time.
Yeah, so a severe consequence takes a whole scenario, which I think would be the whole like campaign arc, right? To recover, and it eats up 6. The extreme.
But then once it's healed, it becomes 4.
Yeah. Once
But
it's,
that's still a pretty big.
but it takes the whole
Yes,
scenario.
you'll have a 4 for the entire game.
No, I mean like, I'm not sure if that's exactly how that works, but the extreme consequence replaces one of your aspects.
Yeah.
It's so serious that taking it literally changes who you are. Unlike other consequences, you can't make a recovery action to diminish an extreme consequence. You're stuck with it until the next major milestone.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can do an extreme consequence once per major milestone, and the idea is that that's like your last ditch effort for your character. If like you've taken all your stress, you've taken all your consequences, you can take an extreme consequence which permanently alters your character. I feel like that's what's happening here.
Yeah.
Can I have your Snowvine if you got it?
And I mean, so it's like either you take the extreme consequence and then like you don't have another one, right? So that's a bad thing, is that you don't have that, and it becomes a aspect, you know, that sticks with you. But it's also not taking up any of your like mild, moderate, or severe.
Yeah.
Or would you rather it be a severe consequence that could be healed and then eventually would be moderate, but you would still have it for...
I don't want to give up one of my aspects. That's kind of just an unfortunate.
But then you get a tiny baby hand because it's not fully grown yet.
I know. I was thinking of it being like a little sprout.
Aspect has baby hands.
Baby.
I will accept a severe consequence.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with that.
It's,
But I
Crazy baby hands.
I want to like stand my ground and insist this was my fault. I should take the consequences for this action, and I'm giving up my arm, but I'm insisting that with my arm, with this life, and with me being chased out of this village and my entire life being scattered, that this is an even trade, and that there should be no ill will left toward my expedition, and that they should be able to stock up on supplies and whatnot.
You're mad if you think you'll trade with us after this.
I'm not sure. They seem like very savvy business people. if they're wanting to take an arm in place of a promise for trade agreements that could benefit them for centuries. So go ahead, Firla.
Trade agreement to dead people. How is your word going to be kept when you travel off and die?
I apologize that you are so far removed from courtly...
Certified letter sent by one of his men to the trade route.
I feel like
With official milksmith and seals from everybody.
Also, I'm just being aggressive here, guys,
No,
because
I-
I've hardly been aggressive so far.
No,
so.
it's cool.
This is fun.
this is great.
amps up the drama. I like that they're sticking to
So
their
I
guns.
think you're being realistic in a way. Like,
Yes.
Yeah, like this guy's
Yes.
not gonna get.
the person he knew was killed in
Yes.
front of his eyes seconds ago.
Yeah.
It was not like a year ago.
Yeah, and I think allowing you guys to leave without anything else and would in trade for the arm is reasonable, but like letting you guys go down and walk around and trade with people in the village after that, it's just like no, this.
Yeah.
Our relationship is not good anymore.
Here's what we
You
do.
leave,
No,
and
no,
we
no,
let
no,
you
no.
leave.
Yeah.
Few people stay behind and fight long enough for the rest of you guys to go trade real quick, and then we'll bolt before we die.
We should get the carpenter in here to
make a
fight.
trade quickly.
Or you guys come back like stacked up 3 high in a trench coat.
Like, I feel like at this point, just because I feel like Ash at this point is feeling heated. He is
They go bathe in flames.
he's young
Burn the place
and he's
down.
feeling
Burn
heated.
them all.
And he's seeing
long has it been since he's had
even
a
though rightfully he's seeing a bit of a bully, and he's seeing he's not liking what's about to happen to Firla. I think that his hands start flaming, and he sort of like looks back at Lhanji and
eye contact looking?
eye contact, and is like, I can this can go another way.
Yiirik is also catching this and is like,
I'm also giving a knowing like nod.
Lexi's like, yeah, oh no, no.
Timothy's head.
Ooh, are you serious? Because he might. If Alexi's like nodding, he might be like. He takes a second. I think he begrudgingly puts his hands back in his pocket.
Wait. If we
Yeah.
kill them, though, they
your
don't get
pocket
to
starts
tell anybody,
smoking.
and we can walk out.
We get 40 dark side points.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we kill him.
We auto
no one
become
knows.
Dark Jedi.
I think
We wash the blood off.
We
and
would
go back
have
down
we would
and
have to
trade.
literally kill the entire village. I think at that point, correct?
And then we get to take all the stuff, and we can just
You would have
retire
to flee.
here. In the adventure.
I think Ash has just seen a giant fire in front of him. He's like, I could do a lot with that.
Guys, we kill them
fire pit.
off, the whole village, and we just start a bar.
What are these
That's the rest of
things
the season.
All right.
Sorry, I forgot to tell you. I mean, so there's savvy negotiators, insular and rumor mongering, but I had also done central fire pit and mini gifts.
Ugh, no
There
longer.
are all these gifts that are scattered
gifts.
around the room.
I'm taking my gift back and going home.
Definitely not getting any.
Man,
You already gave the milk.
I want to insist
Never give away your bargaining chips.
this event has more to do with me returning to this village. I was raised here, and your culture was imparted upon me. And
You were raised here by the death of one of our villagers. This is now 2 dead.
Firla,
Does anybody have deceive?
make these negotiations on your terms. You are not concerned with our well-being.
Yeah, it's so good.
I'm sorry.
So good.
I would not put that responsibility on you.
I mean, this is my
Settle your
problem.
scores. We will suffer as your associates, but that is a risk we were willing to take when we hired you on.
Take back the gifts.
Wait, settle your scores after we return. We need our guide.
The score settling is the arm, which the priest has deemed a reasonable exchange for the life.
Can I just say, if you do lose your arm, you got a new place for your Snowvine to hang out?
Dude, just reading that. It's like, that would be sick. Like the Snowvine just goes right there. It's like,
around.
you didn't need that fucking arm anyway. I am so much better than an arm. And it's like when the Snowvine goes, it leaves, and then you don't have an arm, but then when it's there, it's fucking.
That would be pretty.
My main NPC is my arm.
Dude, that is actually really sick. I actually like that a lot.
How did this end up being good?
Because this shit's awesome. It's because we have a supercharged companion that now eats twice the amount of food. That's
Yes,
That's true.
I want to stand strong and say that this is a score that's being settled between me and this village and these people, and it has nothing to do with this expedition. Is my argument. I have no rapport, but I can roll and spend tokens.
Can I?
I think that at this point,
I wanna
you're
like.
probably insist that
I have another fate token, and I would like to compel you to give up.
To give up?
Yes.
And to just take this?
Yes.
Yeah, I am a curse of the land.
Yes, exactly. That's what I want to do. So,
Yep.
so you can take that, or you can not take it and give me one. Okay.
I'll take it, and
Vine arm.
I just stuff my arm into the fireplace.
Okay, I was gonna have him cut it off and throw it in there, but that works too. Yeah, you just stick it in there.
what happens?
Yep.
I assume you start screaming.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. And it smells like burning wood. Mm-hmm.
It smells like burning wood.
It's like,
Actually, I guess that's normal. Yeah.
No, I'm thinking like, smells like home. Nice rolling.
Yeah, you enter the fireplace.
Lhanji slaps you on the arm.
Yeah, everybody else is like,
speak with that little tact.
Campfire smell.
He's right. I expected a lot worse.
And the Snowvine starts to like come up and get all like riled up, but I've just like put my foot on it as it's rising from the ground and just like push it back down under the snow. I'm just like,
Yep. And in this moment, the camera is switching between the different people in the room, and it's all the flash of the fire on their faces as they're all watching this happen.
Take turns away.
Oh, Lhanji stares straight into the flame.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Ash.
Okay, yeah. So you burn off your arm.
yeah, and then I just
Yeah.
chop it off after a moment and just like kick it at his feet.
And it lands at his feet and is sizzling.
Oh, favorite's like, you gotta eat that.
No favorite.
Yeah, and then he just says, "Be gone,"
Yeah, I guess
and never return.
you probably need to be carried out of here.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure you're not walking after burning your arm off.
Lhanji comes up. I assume you're the deepest in the room at this point.
Yeah,
so
he was like
Lhanji
standing up in the
will
fire.
come and support you and walk you out. And everyone is following.
Are you a human though?
No, what you?
No, true.
You're an actual
Just with a human heart.
Okay. I was about to say, like, I feel like that would just like you would faint or something.
Yeah.
From
Well, I mean,
like that's such
I mean, I could roll
super
endurance or
high
something to stay.
endurance.
such an extreme pain.
Honestly, I don't think that you need to, because you don't normally need to when you take a severe consequence.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I just can't stop imagining burning my arm off.
Oh, it's horrifying. It's horrible. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that he's a total wreck. I've done it a few times before.
Yeah. It's terrible.
I don't know.
It's just awful.
So yeah, you guys walk out of the tent, and like a moment later, this other guard guy that was there comes out and kind of like runs past you and is talking to other villagers, and it seems like he's basically spreading the word. And so as you guys are traveling through the town, no one is like messing with you, but no one is talking to you, and they're all throwing hella shade with their
I'm
eyes.
trying to snub them harder than they're snubbing.
So it seems like he's honoring his word that they won't do anything, but no,
Even if we're in the wrong, we've got to keep the pride.
everybody's like just slamming their like tent flaps closed as you
Yeah.
guys walk by. Can you even slam a tent flap?
Oh, they can. I'm sure they're managing.
Or I like to imagine that it's like a rolled up one, you know, so
Yeah.
they pull it and it's like yeah, exactly, pulling the blinds closed.
Well, that was awful.
Wait, I didn't want to trade with these heathens
Sorry,
anyway.
crew.
So much worse.
I'm sorry, Keith. I had to be insistent.
It was worth it.
It was so epic.
I'm the DL. It was worth it.
Arm.
Okay, so to also remind people, because we kind of like had talked a little bit about some of this, but then got so distracted into that. The Narkinzi expedition, you understand, is still here, and on the outskirts of town. Jimothy had asked about Corbin and had learned that there's a stone on the road out of town that explorers scribe their names on, and that name seemed familiar. You had asked about your mentor's hut. So those are things that
I got the impression that they killed her. From that
Just the
conversation.
impression?
Yeah, from that
I
conversation.
should mention
seemed
it
like,
several times.
Yeah.
yeah, they did.
It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
so if
I
you
think
guys want to
Firla is also
investigate any
just
of that stuff, you can.
Firla's just pissed and not feeling so hot.
We're feeling very hot.
Feeling very hot.
She is a classic.
Quick correction. So
that may be a historical figure.
Jimothy is looking for a man named Corvus, as in like Corvid.
Okay.
And his birth name was Robin, which is what.
Okay, who's Corvus?
Corvus is the new moniker that he's going by, but Jimothy knows that. But
Whose moniker? I'm sorry.
So
Your son? I thought this was about your son.
My son's name was Robin.
Okay.
But when he left, he changed his name to kind of cover his tracks to Corvus.
Okay.
So my main character doesn't know him by the name Corvus, but Jimothy does.
Okay.
That's how he's able to ask about it and then not really like raising alarm bells.
Okay.
But also, you can run with how you might.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Thanks for that. I didn't realize that.
Sorry.
No, that's great. I needed that clarification.
It sounded like you mushed the two together. I was like, Corbin? How did he get Corbin?
Well, yeah, I may certainly
it's fine.
pulled that
It's
name out of
fine.
nowhere. Yeah. What do you guys want to do? You can't trade here, but you're leaving town. There are other things that you can still.
Straight out of town.
Yep, headed out.
No, we're done.
So I am buckling Kalima in.
My Snowvine kills the chieftain. I'm just kidding.
Yes! Yes!
Us not trading here means that we have not restocked our supplies at all since our sea voyage.
No.
Correct.
This was a great expedition. We lost an arm.
Don't worry. Let's go to Team Narkenzi and see if we can bully any supplies out of town.
Hell yeah.
Fork, yeah.
Let's go commit
Okay.
some more crimes.
Let's go. I feel like Yiirik is not a fan of committing
We're the good guys!
A little bit lawful there.
He likes law and order.
Okay, so
He likes also not drawing attention.
so yeah, you guys make your way to the outskirts of town, and
You want an
and you
adventure,
find
man. You got it.
several of these big fancy tents, kind of similar to like your own that you have that are set up here, and they've got the sigil of House Narkinzi hanging at the front of one of them in particular that must be where Lady Narkinzi is. And there are people from her expedition that are outside of it, like cooking and
There were no other
tending to
contacts in
horses
that
and stuff.
expedition other than Lhanji's.
Let me pull that up.
While he's doing that, just as reference, we have 3 food out of a total 20 spots, so that's enough for traveling one-ish
half
day
a
with
day?
a decent cooking meal.
Good lord.
Also, there is
we need food.
there's like a river here, and I'll say that like with a couple people taking like the day or whatever to do it, like you guys could basically
Fish.
fill up all of your water.
Oh, water. Well, our water's full.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, you're okay.
you
Well,
effectively said on the ship we weren't.
yes.
We weren't.
I would say that you guys probably didn't have any water. You didn't
Okay.
bring any water with you on the ship,
Okay.
more than likely, because you knew that they would have some. So you were planning on stopping here somewhere and
So we
getting
can
fresh
just
water at a river, but it
fill
just
up.
takes some time to do it. It's not particularly a challenging thing at this moment. Later on, when there aren't like rivers and stuff, then it'll be more difficult, right? You're on the outskirts of the village. Nothing's going to attack you here.
Except for maybe
The
Yeah,
Narkinzi
they changed their
expedition.
mind.
Actually,
also-
that wasn't enough. I'm still mad.
You died.
So people that are also in the Narkinzi expedition are Giovanni Morningcourt and Nicodemus Karnaslav.
Okay.
Are they friendly?
I don't know those names.
I think that's fine.
What was the name of the expedition?
I think that's fine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Narkenzi.
Yeah.
That's the idea. I think only the people that know them
That's perfect.
should it be relevant
That's
to.
fine. Yeah.
Are they handsome? Do they look?
They sound handsome.
Well, Lady Narkinzi, you created and described, and that she's a pretty large lady as well.
She's a fancy, chubby, courtly woman.
Oh, nice.
Courtly and portly.
Portly.
That needs to be one of her aspects.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
She enjoys a good one with some curves.
Portly and portly. is so
That's great. Yeah, Giovanni. Giovanni sounds handsome.
Yeah. I only know one Giovanni in real life, and he is indeed handsome.
Yeah, definitely.
Come on down to the court porch.
Yep. So there's just people doing the expedition thing,
All right.
getting supplies together and tending the horses.
I
And,
send Navius to introduce me as nobles are supposed to.
of course,
So
yeah.
to someone outside of a
Yes,
tent.
yes. Navius meets with the Narkinzi Navius equivalent. The bodyguard who's with
The bodyguard, crier.
Introducing.
all of her
Except for
titles.
the power dynamic.
Navius,
She gives
opens the flap for you and gives you the
Alright.
signal to come and step inside.
Introducing.
And you walk into.
Is anyone coming with you?
I was gonna offer, but this is a solo mission.
Whoever would like to, and that's up to
Yeah.
Lhanji.
I think I'm gonna.
Just like,
I'm here to protect Navius. I'm going in.
I'll go with. This seems like
You
a
don't just
dangerous.
send one guy in by himself.
Yeah, I mean, this seems like a dangerous proposition for us to like go and confront a rival party. It seems likely that something might happen.
You
so.
sit your ass out. You cause problems.
I do have ideas on how to get some food before we leave, though. But we'll come back to that.
Also, keep in mind, Yiirik, that you have some information about this expedition and some news that you had got last week. So you step in, and you see Lady Narkinzi like in tears. She's wallowing, and she's got like a handkerchief type thing. Like
Wait,
she's,
sorry.
like,
Did we decide
blotting her
who's
eyes.
with you?
Any of the at all times, Lhanji prefers to have the PC is
Okay. Then I will be there.
Yeah. So unless you try to fight usually you're given some kind of gesture, not a snap, some kind of gesture that implies you are to follow.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Telesians follow.
Oh, Lori, whatever has befallen you?
She stands up and it's the embrace, but it's also like the awkward hands or something. I don't know.
We can't actually touch beyond the hands.
Of course, yeah.
There's a lot of like air kissing.
Yeah.
And I think everyone, without needing to roll anything, can tell that exchanges between Alori and Lhanji are over the top. You may not be quite sure what's going on, but they are really turning it up to 11.
A very different Lhanji all of a sudden.
Yeah. You're like, wait.
I feel like you had named her husband.
Yeah.
Do you recall what his name was?
I can find it real quick.
Okay, well, while you're
is he
looking
deceased?
for it, yes, she tells you, my husband, he died a horrible death.
Oh, Lhanji's expression changes dramatically.
That damned sea took him.
Was there terrible weather?
See what?
Might be Gildegard. That's possible.
Go out there and stab.
A horrible creature. Horrible.
Was he on the expedition with them?
Yes, he was.
Oh.
The two of them had gone together as
Yeah.
like the husband-wife.
That's so sad
We're on
for
the
you.
team.
How tragic. Yeah.
How tragic for you.
Yeah.
Glad we didn't deal with it.
I think I'm gonna slip away while this is happening, and
Okay.
I'm gonna go get some food.
Okay.
Yiirik probably understands a bit of the noble sort of like nuances and whatnot. He takes his little stocking hat off and puts it over his heart. And still looking down, looking pitiful.
I feel like you just need this hat as a prop, so you can do that.
I wore it last week, but I got hot, so.
Oh, I didn't
Fair
name
enough.
him. It's just I just called him
You don't need a hat.
Lord Narkenzie.
Yeah, well, so Lord Narkenzie, he was.
He was he will be gravely missed, Alora.
He was torn to shreds.
Well, we all knew
Her
this
the like
expedition.
bodyguard. Her bodyguard leans
Yeah.
in and says,
He was a walrus.
Oh, walrus.
Yeah, damnedest thing I ever seen.
My favorite character so far.
This guy
That's right.
on the DL,
Was
he's
that a
saying it's
wellness?
CR and stuff like that.
"Yeah, exactly."
What did this say?
Horrible monster, and you won't speak of it here. She says to him.
Of course, my lady.
He steps back.
Well, okay, time to get in there with some subtle
Convince them to turn back.
Yeah, that's what's about to go down. Lhanji, I'm gonna roll deceit. I guess I'm overcoming an obstacle, the generic obstacle of do they believe me or not. I'm just going to try to deliver this as bereftly as I possibly can. So I'm just going to like sit as if the whole reason to live has been driven from my body and stare at her and say, Alora, you can't go on. I got a +2.
Oh, okay.
Can say teamwork.
So, you guys should all get your fate points back. Woo! I feel like after that encounter, I mean, I don't know. I guess you guys could sleep the next day and then get them, but I feel like it's fine for you to have them now. It was really just that I wanted to get through that encounter before you.
So wait, what are you
refresh
using?
them.
Deceive?
I
Give me
am.
3
Okay,
and 2.
no, she doesn't have any.
Oh, I know somebody who's got.
No, Genevieve, no, thank you.
How many? 5?
But, oh, sorry.
That's your 3.
Oh, this
Here,
is
I'll just pass them.
cute.
But it'd be great.
Well, he's so good.
He's so,
My lady.
he's so good at this.
Is he in here?
No,
He breaks in through the door.
he's not. We would need to call
Maybe
him in.
I might.
He's
I
got a
might do
+3
that.
on deceive.
I do too.
I'm just saying. And
Lhanji does too. I just rolled mediocre.
he's been practicing all week on negotiating stuff, which unfortunately we never got to use.
What did you
I
what'd
got
you
a
roll?
+2.
Okay, +2 on your what, like rapport?
Deceive.
Deceive.
I could make it rapport. I haven't really lied yet.
That's true.
But I do think I use deceive because I am counseling her
Like
counter
kind of like a persuasion, though.
I,
Right?
yeah.
But is that deceive in this, or is there?
I mean, I'm going to be.
Disingenuous.
Yeah, I
think that's where that
I
intent's
don't
coming
actually think she can't go on.
Well, I was thinking maybe rapport would work better for you.
It would give me one more point.
Well, I meant like this is is rapport technically kind of like a persuasion,
Yes.
because you're kind of persuading, not really like deceiving, you know.
Not deceiving
So I
yet.
think rapport would almost be better.
Yeah, I agree. I think
I would-
it sounds
I
more
could
like a
teamwork
rapport check
rapport.
than a deception. Were you lying in any way? I know that rapport's better for you, but I'm just saying.
I have not lied
Yeah.
yet, but the intent behind my persuasion is lying, which
Yeah.
I guess is why I was like,
Yeah.
I feel like, to be honest,
Yeah,
I
that's
should be
fair.
rolling deceit.
Yeah, okay. I will agree with
You're
that.
gonna agree to avenge the whale.
So you had a 2.
Good idea.
And Jimothy's gonna flex for you. I'm just kidding.
Jimothy with his beer belly.
Oh.
Making a will. I got a 3.
Oh. Okay, lay it on me. Counter argument.
But it's what Lord Narkinzi would have wanted.
Yeah.
It would be a shame to turn back now, then his death would have been in vain.
No, I think his name is officially Gildegard now.
Gildegard.
I didn't provide one.
I thought
Gildegard.
Gildegard was his name. It sounded like perfect.
I love it.
Gildegard. It's very handsome.
It is. Well, he's not
Gildegard
handsome
Narkenzi.
anymore.
He's torn to
He was
shreds.
torn to shreds.
By a whale.
Whalrus.
That guard, yeah. Was that the Navius equivalent? I hope so.
Yeah, the one that said that to you?
Yeah, he's
Yes.
the real MVP.
Yeah.
He'll join us.
It was a
before the end.
whalrus, ma'am.
My lady, I do you mind? One moment of your time. I perhaps have a suggestion for you that might fit both of these items.
Yes. What is it?
You get the exact smile I just gave you.
You know, the hats
Danger
over.
smile.
I'm thinking that perhaps if it is truly something your husband would have wanted, you could send your crew, but you stay back and deal with, God forbid, all the things that it takes to bury a loved one. This is
There's no burying him. He's buried at the bottom of the sea.
but you know what I mean. I'm
Etc. Bada bing, bada boom, and we're done.
I'm rolling report.
Okay.
I'm talking finances. I'm talking life insurance. You know, all this stuff.
I had a 3 once again.
Do you roll rapport?
So
That is what's happening, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna teamwork that. With
do you have rapport?
I don't, but for Tay,
Yeah, get in there, too.
yeah, I think she would, you know.
So +1.
Yeah. Do I have to roll the teamwork that, or just?
No, you just add the +1.
I'm just add a +1.
And I mean, I know that. I don't know. I know that it's supposed to be the person with the highest stat, but like if you or guys start rolling and then
Yeah.
somebody's like, "I want a teamwork," then I think you're sticking with the roll
I
that,
think
that
so.
was made.
That makes more.
But
narrative
if you
sense
planted it in
anyways.
advance and then you're like, Lhanji has the best
Right,
rapport, she'll do
right.
it, other people will stack, then I'm cool with that.
I think she'll just like, you know, the whole time be making. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and well, and I feel like Tay would kind of fit right in with this crowd.
Right.
because
Right. She's very comfortable in
Narkinzi
this
is
situation.
from that same courtly circle.
Right. So she's sort of like trying to lend like her a support to what Yiirik is saying. It's like, oh, that's very sensible. Very, very sensible. You poor thing.
And I'm going to use a fate token as well. I'm gonna say, and hearing your plight, I could even send some gifts your way from my family. I'm Yiirik Milksmith. I'm sure you've heard of me. Everyone knows.
Of course, the Milksmiths. Yes.
Every time you say that, I always see like a face from like a
generous
comedy, like a sitcom.
Do you know who I am?
Or she doesn't until you spend the fate point.
It's very difficult for me to see someone in such anguish. I have lost many family.
You are an absolute disaster, darling. I hate to say it.
Lhanji is so brutal.
She's like, no, I'm not. Am I? She looks to her bodyguard, and he's like,
No, ma'am, you're as beautiful as the day you was born.
Tay's like shaking her head.
He knows exactly what he has to say.
yeah. I don't even know what that means. Sorry.
This
You
man,
will only
man number
get you
2.
so far, darling. I'm talking about your life partner. The person who stood beside you all this time has just been brutally, heartlessly, cruelly ripped from your arm.
You don't need to be reminded.
How could you expect yourself to go on at a time like that? I don't think
We invested so much. You know.
Well, was my argument persuasive? Did I?
What was your total?
I got a +4 at the end of it.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Yeah, she had a 3, you had a 4, so
Yeah.
yes.
My argument was she sends her band, she goes home.
That she stays behind. I didn't get my fate points yet, but I'm gonna spend one here. Sponsor to engineers and inventors.
Who is that?
This is Lady Narkenzi. Okay. She says, I have far too much invested, and still many great tricks and advantages that we have yet to use. We've been laying these plans for so long, and I have to see this through for him.
Laura, I take her hand.
Yes.
Pudgy little fingers laden in
Yeah, exactly.
And
Rings that have never been taken off.
Yes.
Corpulent.
Put on once. When the next whale risk comes along, how could I sleep if I know I'd let you walk right into its gaping maw? I'll put I don't know what to put behind this.
I'm shaking my head.
I mean, I kind of feel like you're intimidating her, but you're like doing it in a very like sly way, right?
Sounds like rapport.
I do have mind games, which allows me to use deceive in place of provoke to make mental attacks, but I'm not making a mental attack.
That's her high stat.
Well, I mean, I guess you're overcoming an obstacle, but I'm seeing those things as being kind of similar here. You're trying to break down her.
Yeah, I guess I
defenses.
totally am.
Yeah.
I'm like, I will sit here and talk to her until she doesn't want to go.
Yeah, totally.
Or tells me to leave. Yuck.
Our rolls are garbo tonight.
So are you
Jeez.
intimidating?
Just rolled a -2.
Got
Bummer.
13, man.
I had a 2.
Yeah, I got down to a 1. But I have danced the dance with her before.
No, I was saying I was using teamwork with you. Oh wait, what were you using?
Deceive.
Deceive.
I have deceive. That's why I was saying Yiirik was standing behind her, shaking his head with his hat.
Continuing to impress upon her.
I rolled total garbage.
But it would tie.
Or tie?
I had a 2.
Break it
You
down.
said you had a 1.
Break it down a little bit.
So the +1 would be a 2.
Damn, walruses.
I think it's whale rye.
Whale rye.
In plural.
Whale It's the Welramum.
English was
Good Lord.
never my stroke.
Yeah, I was channeling a little Heroes Guild when I came up with the whale risk.
I love it.
Ride the whale.
It actually was. I was before I came up with the polar lion. I was going to do the whale risk, but then I was like, that's just a little too goofy. So I had to keep it.
Yeah. You're like, I can slip that in later.
Just a little bit.
It's hilarious
You don't
that
have
someone
to fight
else got
one. You
killed
could
by
just
it.
hear about one.
Exactly.
Giant
Just imagine a whale-sized walrus. It really is pretty horrifying.
Yeah, it's
That shit could
terrifying.
capsize a ship.
Oh yeah,
right?
whale rum.
Whale rum.
Rorum.
Roram?
It has an ending, so I would say it was right. Kitty is the classics
Thanks, Kitty.
expert.
Backing me up.
Yeah.
Classic kitty.
With that cats can swim and that whale rides.
It's your areas of expertise.
Yeah. And pronouncing French words, apparently.
They do not go unnoticed. Also, Kirby and Kitty have been promoted to moderators. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Nice.
What does that mean? They can boot people?
Yeah.
Oh no, they're gonna be booting each other.
Back and forth.
Dang it!
I'm so proud of my
power move. Seriously.
Yeah, totally.
Are they the Lhanji of material components?
Yeah.
Whatever level Lhanji
You're
has
a
waiting
mess.
for her in her old age.
Booted.
Okay, so you, where are we at with this?
We tied it.
We're at a tie.
I'm not spending a fate token for that. Oh, I can. It's on.
I think she's close to being convinced.
Yeah, I kind of want to.
I mean, her expedition will definitely go on, but like she might turn back.
Well,
And then they're leaderless.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
I mean, honestly, they may get a better leader out of this.
well, I hope it's not Karnaslav. It's like the most ridiculous name ever.
Nicodemus Karnaslav.
Yeah, what a ridiculous name.
I know.
Awesome.
So I was like, you guys are gonna love my rival because
He's also a
totally
Russian
just
oligarch.
All right, I
Do it.
am entangled in the web of social intrigue,
Yes.
and so tightly
beautiful.
with Allure. We go way
For a
back.
reroll.
I'm gonna do the whole reroll because I had a -2. I feel like I can do better than that. I
Oh
got
my
the exact same though.
Oh no, I was gonna say a boost probably would do it.
I felt like -2. I could do better then. Odds
A
were
tie?
against me, yeah.
Still at a tie. To overcome an obstacle. Succeed at the action, but that you're attempting, but at a minor cost.
I'll take it.
Is what that says.
I could go along with the lines of provoking, like talk about how horrible and dangerous and treacherous, adding to what you're talking about. I can't do teamwork, but I'll just
Yeah, no, you can.
But who will take over in my stead? Who will see to my investment?
I gesture to her Navius.
yeah. He's like,
Oh no, not me. I'm no leader. I'm here to take orders, not to give them.
I'm sure you have suitable people that you've chosen within your crew.
I suppose.
You trusted them with your life. Mr. Carlos.
Well, some of them have lost my faith, making poor decisions.
more mouths to feed.
Some of ours have done that as well.
Damn. Shit.
Yiirik gets a.
Firla's out of the tent.
Yeah, you're going to get a visual
I-
reprimand.
I understand what.
I love Lhanji's like,
Yet,
what the fuck? Yeah, her look, her WTF look.
We do not need to speak of that.
yet faith goes a long way.
Yeah, I think Kirby and Kitty are onto something with this.
What did I do?
Merging the groups, your power move should be.
Trust me, it's crossed Lhanji's mind.
No, that's what we do. We merge the groups and then we.
But part of the lead up is definitely making her think she came to that idea.
Yes, yeah, totally. The best way to deal with powerful people.
I will say, effectively, to answer the question, that's not even allowed.
No.
and the reason being is because you guys have a set number of NPCs that are equal your hit points, essentially, and so if you're just recouping them and getting a whole bunch of characters, then I'm just literally never going to be able to do anything to you guys. I think there definitely will be situations where, like, 1 or 2 people come in and can join your group. I'm cool with, like, exceptions to it, but not like... Oh, we found half of their group still alive, and now we're bolstering our group by another 5 or 10 people or something.
In that
them right
case,
now.
Kill them right now.
The walrus comes from behind.
from the sky. Can it's a walrus if we send them off on a goose chase and take their stuff
Yeah, right.
to go fight the walrus? Is that
Well, I'm working on killing them. That will be after the break, Kirby. So she seems convinced, and that maybe she should stay behind, but that she has to really consider who she's going to put in charge because she's still very worried about her investment ultimately.
Absolutely. And of course, Lhanji offers to go through the dossiers with her and vet people for leadership.
Of course.
In fact, she can borrow Navius for a while.
To do that with her.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, I think she's convinced that she will stay behind, and she's going to work on now, like, figuring out who's going to be in charge.
Excellent. It's kind of like sabotage a little bit.
It's very subtle
mean-
sabotage.
Definitely.
That's yeah.
And I kind of thought that was a possibility when I created that situation. I was curious what you would do.
Oh yeah, we want to cut as many tires as we can here.
Yeah, totally. But it is your contact, so that's where I wasn't totally sure how you would want to handle it.
Yeah.
Well, you could frame it as you're looking out for her best interests.
You already
You're like,
convinced her
you're
that
not
you
gonna
were.
make it up there. You need to go back.
Yeah, what I would really like is to get some stuff out of the deal, like food.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
let's agree to go recover the remains from the walrus in exchange for some supplies, since it'll be so arduous.
Oh, just straight lie to her?
Absolutely. We did that already. We're the baddies, remember?
Yeah, we're certainly the bad guys.
We're definitely the fucking bad
Sorry,
guys.
Yiirik.
Because we want to survive.
I will actually... Lhanji is going to go get Jimothy and introduce Jimothy to a lawyer.
At this point, Yiirik would probably
Ash leaves as well. He wants no part
Yeah,
of
I
it.
think
I hate it every time.
I feel like Ash left as soon as there was like crying involved.
It
Doesn't get any better.
Yeah,
There was a definite break after
You love it in the way that you love Waffle
Right.
House.
Yes.
right.
No.
Yeah.
I mean to say that I love hate it. Don't take it the wrong way,
I
Taylor.
mean, I want
Yeah.
him to hate. Like,
Alright,
Jim.
so-
It's the characters that you're meant to hate, right?
Yeah.
I know. Shandon is always like, I hate that guy, and I'm like, you're meant to. That's the whole
You
purpose.
have to respect
He's obviously a well-written like villain if you hate him that much,
yeah,
right?
exactly. If you have that much feels, then
It's Saul
They're doing
Goodman. If
something to you.
there was absolutely nothing redeeming, so just Saul Goodman.
alright.
He's
So,
just a bad.
Timothy Croissant.
Except I don't hate Saul Goodman. I kind of like him.
Well, yeah, you're supposed to like him, but like that's part of the thing. He's totally a bad dude.
great
He's a bad hombre, but you know he just.
I usually do it from the other side, so.
All right.
So we get her set up with Navius, and then Lhanji says, "There's someone I'd like to introduce you to," and goes and gets Jimothy. And on the way back, explains to Jimothy that we are in dire need of more supplies, and
I'm so happy you decided to come to me.
Sell her some chapstick.
Of course, I am here to serve.
I
Sell her
would
some
love
goat
for
shit.
you on my behalf to arrange some kind of trade. Her party may have wounds that need attended.
Oh, absolutely! I would most certainly love to help out our dear friends.
Very dear. Pat Timothy on the back, and now.
Send him away.
Go to it. Nice.
So Jimothy steps
Yeah.
into the tent.
Well, okay, Lady Narkenzie, that's
Yes.
the name. Okay, what was the name of the other guy?
Lord Narkenzie. He was
Lord Narkenzie. I didn't have a name for the bodyguard yet.
Oh, okay, cool.
Ooh, yeah.
I didn't know.
Put it out to the chat.
Yeah,
How about a name for
Kirby and
this?
Kitty.
What's Alora's bodyguard's name? Who explained the walrus? No, Daniel, just stop. I guess that's his middle
a
name.
really good
That's his
start.
middle name again. You got it mixed up. Again.
His childhood nickname.
Gildegard is Lord Narkenzie. We need a name
Yeah.
for the Navy's equivalent.
Bart.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Kirby
Oh,
chose, so
okay.
Kitty gets to name this one.
This is an
Okay.
issue of equity.
All right.
Excellent.
Well, really quick, I stormed off because I was in a bit of like a pain rage as this like nonsense of like the spouse being dead and whatnot. I'm like, okay, this is clearly like I'm not needed right now, and what I need to make up for is the fact that we're not going to get any supplies. So I storm off into the adjacent wilderness, and I know you can spend a fate token to declare a story detail.
Yeah.
So I'm using my mystical tundra dryad, or like just the shtick that I'm from this area.
Yes.
So I'm going to the places where people set like traps.
Okay.
Right? Like that they like normally harvest.
Timberbrust.
Timberbrust.
I love it.
That's great.
Timberbrust.
Timber.
Man,
Yes, I'm like Manhattan strong arm transfer.
yes. So I'm harvesting.
Timberbrust. I love it.
That's right. They call me Manhattan strong arm.
So I'm doing like a survival food salvaging, with the idea of being like going to each of the different spots that they trap animals or
Okay.
fish or whatever they do.
Yeah.
And I'm just stealing like from these villagers because at
Yes.
this point I'm like, I hate you guys.
Yeah, I don't feel like you have to roll for that since you spent the fate point, and just with,
Okay.
with the circumstances, it seems to just make sense to me.
Okay.
So I think you get you mark a success on a scavenge for free, right?
Okay.
So normally you have to do like 3 in order to come back, and then you're bringing back 6 invokes. Does it seem like? I'll just say that you bring back 4 invokes, and that you actually can bring that back on your own because of the circumstance.
Yeah.
And that's basically a day's worth of food for your people at this point.
Okay. 4 invokes. Damn,
Four food invokes.
Yep. Baller.
And they were mostly like fishing nets that were in the river.
Yeah.
Not like out in the bay, but the river that like dumps into the bay.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Along your hike,
I have them slung over my one shoulder, and
you did come, somewhat near to the witch's like tent on the outskirts of town. If you wanted to check it out, but you don't have to. That's up to you.
yeah, I got to. I'm gonna sneak up to it with some stealth.
These rolls are garbage.
I got a 2.
Actually, I think you're just overcoming an obstacle.
Blow on these dice.
Yeah, I don't think anyone notices you. You get up to there, and you can tell that this this like hovel or whatever hasn't been used in a long time. Probably like since you left, 10 years ago or so. And yeah, are you digging around inside?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Searching
go inside.
Yeah, I'll say that if you just spend some time searching here, you end up finding. Well, you have memories of the witch like having like a stash, a hidden stash hole type thing,
underground hidey hole kind of thing. Yeah,
and so you go to that place, and within it is a box that's hidden away in there. Seems like nobody had seen.
Yeah.
I'm
grabbing it.
Yeah, you crack it open, and the first thing that you see. It's a new arm. You maybe don't recognize it first, but you know from how it looks that it.
It's a new sword, but it's two-handed.
Wait, it's a what?
You learn that this. So the thing that is here is. Well, it is of you. It is from your earliest days. It's like the seed casing that you were carried down the river in. You've got this seed case, like the 2 sides of it that are like cracked open, right?
You're compelled to eat it.
They're like in this box.
The vine eats it.
I must eat the afterbirth.
I think I would just break down and cry on it for a little bit.
There are also. As you continue to
It's like
dig,
finding your egg that you were hatched from.
That's weird.
as you continue to dig through the box, you find some other things.
Baby blanket, exactly.
You find a bracelet that you don't recognize, but it's a bracelet that is given in the Ekshaw culture that is like a marriage bracelet that like a man would have given to a woman in this case, a woman's bracelet, and like a lock of hair that's tied up, that's like black hair, and there's a rolled up scroll in the bottom of this box as well. If you open it up, it is.
I do.
Yeah. What skills do you have? Anything like you have lore?
I have lore spiritual.
That. Yeah, I think that seems good enough to at least get some idea of what this is. Might not be able to like completely identify it, but.
I got a 1.
Well, it's certainly a spell.
Yeah,
It's a scroll, a spell scroll.
I could bring that to our wizard.
Yep. Yeah, but you can't really decipher much of it.
Well, I take the
It's not booby trapped.
I take the husk that I came from and
With the seed casing.
Yeah, and I put it in like a leather pouch and wear it on my neck.
Awesome.
That's a real big pouch.
How big is it? Is it like a...
I mean, the size of a seed.
I was kind of seeing it as being pretty big, like the size of like something that like an infant could fit inside of,
Like a
womb,
coconut.
size of a womb. But I mean, whatever. It also could have been very small if you would like for that to be.
Woomies.
I'm just gonna carry. I'm carrying it with me in some fashion. I just put it in my pack.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
No, I like tie it against my chest.
A hat.
A hat. I wear it as a hat.
That's all there is to find
I
here.
sew it together.
Jimothy. Jimothy is going to
All right.
talk to Narkinzi.
Okay, yeah, so...
Lady Narkinzi, I've heard, such sad news. I am so sorry to hear about your misfortune.
Yes, it is horrible, isn't it? She raises her hand to you. Yeah.
So good to make your acquaintance. Now Lady Narkinzi, you must mourn. There's no other way that you could possibly get through this horrible tragedy. But of course, how can you mourn? You have no body.
Minus 5. Minus 5. Hey, don't blame me. I'm like sitting like right up next to this.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's my bad.
That's all right. I did this last time too.
Well, you also flail your arms in your animated fashion.
I need to, man. I learned from this.
And you got a lot right in front of you there too.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's literally the worst spot.
Here, I'm gonna back away. Because I know I'm gonna.
Can we still see?
Yeah. All right, good. Where was I?
But you must mourn for your lost partner, your life mate. But unfortunately, you have no body which to do so. No remains at all. Oh, how you must anguish over that unfortunate block in your mourning process.
I don't need to be reminded of how my husband was murdered.
Oh, speaking of your husband's murder, that's such a tragedy. And it can remind me, how was he how did he pass?
She just starts bawling, and then what's his name leans in. He's like,
It was a walrus.
Timber-breast.
It was a walrus. Yep.
Oh, thank you, good sir. Thank you. Oh, that's right.
You fucking love saying that word.
Can you write it about that, by the way? That just happened to me. This is just a metaphor for how this is falling apart by the moment.
to crumble in front of you.
All right. Where was I?
Oh, a walrus. Oh, how dreadful. And where was that again?
They tell you out on the shifting sea.
Okay.
Like several days back.
Oh, my, the shifting sea. I think that we've gone by that before. I'm sure we have. But I'll have to reconvene with my friends to confirm that. But I believe that we could find your husband's remains. Oh, surely you would be so graciously happy to at least have something, whether it be even a wedding ring or some sort of cufflink, something that you can remember your dear husband.
You plan to go back to that sea and beneath the ocean?
Oh my!
I love the idea that he was
Beneath the ice?
Oh,
You cannot be serious.
absolutely we are.
Not doing that. Absolutely.
How could we not? You see, Lady Free over here has told me that you two go far back and are such great friends, and it would be our utmost honor to go and recover your husband's remains.
You can do that?
Oh, absolutely. See, we have the most glorious mage in our team. It's an up-and-coming rising superstar, in fact. And of course, we have dear Alexi. You know, you've seen him. He's quite strong and very capable. Why, he even once took on a polar lion all on his own. Did not need any help whatsoever. And in fact, he even kept a trophy from that encounter. We'd love to show it to you, but unfortunately we had to trade it at that last town that we were at. You see, we're running so short on supplies, and while we would very much love to go and recover your dear late husband's remains, we would be running ourselves far too short of supplies. Therefore, I propose a proposition that will benefit both of us greatly. You see, we could go back into the shifting seas, recover your husband's remains, and of course we could provide a little bit of extra supplies to make sure that we don't perish on our way. We both benefit from this.
So you plan to backtrack for days and dive beneath the sea to find the remains of my husband, who was consumed by a gigantic sea creature. This is a based on the circumstances. I feel like this is at least a great is like a +5, right? I mean, you are blowing some serious smoke up her ass right now.
Yeah, that's the big one.
I like
Timothy to the test, maximum. Yeah.
I'm absolutely adding in fake details. I didn't need to. I can't help myself but fucking lie. Gotta boast.
Yeah. I mean, well, let's see. So. Oh yeah, I'll say it's a +5. You need to have a +5 in order to convince her that you're telling the truth here.
Okay, and are there any aspects on the table other than...
Not really, no. I mean, well, I will say that certainly, you know of the situational aspect that she's grieving for her lost husband. Okay. That potentially could be invoked.
Okay, just want to know. In case I
also, if you want to, you can use empathy to learn about her aspects and then use those aspects against her.
Yeah, no.
To discover aspects.
No.
Zero self-awareness. Zero situation. No. Social awareness.
What was I thinking?
Alexi has.
Wait, I thought he healed someone earlier with empathy, didn't he?
No, he healed someone with.
With healing.
Academics.
Yes,
yeah,
with his snake oils.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which work.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Of course they
he
do.
was feeling better.
Of course.
Yeah. And by the way, he's very selfless. He healed everybody before he healed himself. So thank you. Probably mostly because he forgot he had that. So. But yeah, I'll go for it.
All right. You need a +5.
Well, I got a +3.
Or I guess. Yeah. It also could be active opposition, but I'll just go with this.
Okay, so that puts him at a 2.
Oh boy. Woof.
So I would need to, well, can I reroll? So I'm at a 2, right? So if I add one more, that put me at a 4. That's not enough to get 5. So I need to spend a token to capitalizing on the fact that she's grieving and for Jimothy to really just dig that in and how much. Oh, you need it. You'll feel so much better if you would just let us go and retrieve your husband's remains. Surely you will feel so much more relieved and be able to move on with your life, and you might even feel reinvigorated to keep on that journey in the name of your husband's.
Wait, now it's starting to work us backwards.
and keep in
Things are going off the rails.
Keep in mind that Jimothy has aspects too that you can invoke.
He does.
Yep, I've got them here.
He's got his.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
I don't know if I have.
Thanks
Do
to
I have
Hannah.
everything on here?
Well, so what I had was.
I'm trusting you. He said I have aspects. I'm like, if you got them, I don't see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're-
I didn't have an other, but I had the high concept and the trouble.
Just pathological liar. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
There was not. But you also, with the idea of this game, is that at any point you can write in that aspect. And even if it's like, this is useful in this situation, that's fine. That's kind of how you arrive at realizing that your character would have that. But then it's written in after that point. So.
Invoking a Jimothy aspect is like reading a page off the Necronomicon. But at a great cost.
Yes.
I'm gonna go for a reroll based on, well, I don't know. I could either, if I can find a way to invoke twice, then I would do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, using 2 fate points and invoking 2 different
Yeah, I'm just trying to think
aspects.
of what the different things are. Obviously, one would be that she's
Her grief.
She's grieving. And I don't know. Can I invoke the fact that I'm a pathological liar
Absolutely.
and I'm possibly
Absolutely.
even convincing her to
Yes.
return on her journey after we get the supplies?
Yes.
Okay. So then I
Wait,
will...
you're just lying to that we're going.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so just invoke it.
Well, then I'm lying that I'm gonna do it, and I'm invoking. I mean, I'm using deceive though. Is that considered like double
I
stacking?
think it just
on
like
the same thing?
like amps up your deceive. Like you are
You're
very good liar.
better at deceiving because you're a pathological liar.
So
You're well
I'm digging
practiced in lying.
and I'm basically, well, I'm not gonna write this in, but he basically is like predatory, so absolutely.
Yeah, like
Actually, maybe I should
won't
write
give
that.
up.
He did that to Alexi, so yeah.
Well, yeah, that does kind of fit in with the snake oil salesman too. I feel like snake oil salesmen are pretty like aggressive.
Yeah.
Praise on people.
Oh yeah.
Praise on weakness.
I guess of it like
Praise on the weak.
blood in the water kind of thing, like a shark smells it. It's like
Yeah. Blood in the water is sick.
For this
right, I like
Jimothy takes a dark turn. Jeez. Oh, I love that. Blood in the water from Jimothy.
Yep,
He smells out the weakness and profits from
Well done,
it.
Taylor.
It's definitely Necronomicon-esque.
Yeah, blood in the water. I'd say so. Smells blood.
smell, sweetness,
Okay, yeah,
and gullible people.
We're definitely the bad guys.
Somehow she believes you, and it must just be her grief. And
She's not thinking.
this is a you guys are already on a crazy quest in the middle of nowhere,
Hated by
and things have
villagers.
gone horribly. She is not her savviest self, and I don't want to spend any more fate points to keep her. Though she is courtly and portly, and I was tempted to use that aspect.
Courtly and portly.
That was Hannah.
Hey, he
earlier.
did enough.
Yeah.
He taught or proverbially kissed the ring.
Okay, so the question is, how many invokes are you guys getting out of this? If you guys are convincing her to take some of their supplies, that's ultimately what you're trying to do with this, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Would you roll for that, or is that like a 2-day journey? So we.
Maybe it could be decided based on how far above her.
How many shifts?
How many shifts above?
Yeah.
Like a major success.
Yes. Well, I was saying that it was a 5, and he invoked twice, so it was a 6. So right now you just have a success. So I would say that's like they'll give you 2 days worth of food, which is like enough to get there and enough to get back.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
That's great.
We got 8.
Can't wait till she watches go in the total opposite direction.
Oh, we just.
We're gonna turn her. We're
We're going the long way. Oh, believe me, we have a shortcut. We have
Cut out back to
a
the village. Do not ask us why.
a native. Do not worry.
Really don't want
We have caused
Awesome.
quite a ruckus.
Best Timothy. Team member of the month.
blood in the water.
Okay, so I wanna move just a little bit further before taking our break. It's about 8 o'clock. I think you guys are basically done with everything in the town. Yeah. Is there anything else that you guys individually want to do?
I was wanting to actually go see the rest of their crew.
Of the Narkinzi?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sitting around doing stuff. grabbing
They
their
are,
tents.
yeah. Yeah, they're
gonna have to
they're
make it
pretty
long.
much all kind of right there in that general area. Yeah. You.
Anyone else witness that ludicrous display?
I was not there for that, but that was fantastic.
So one thing that you definitely notice is there's a person that's got a cart set up, and he seems like a bit of a kind of mad scientist who's got like bubbling cauldrons and flasks and stuff like that, and this fancy crucible sort of thing set up, and this character seems to be working at some alchemy or something. Yeah, and their whole Narkinzi expedition is there. The crew. I don't have any other particular ones than what I've described so far, and your contacts and rivals that you guys know are here.
I'd probably look around at this mad scientist thing, ask some questions, but probably not go too deep into it. Is there like a fire that they're like all sitting around, or like? Yeah, I'll go like just
there's a guy tending to the horses who's the animal dude, and there's a person like making sure they got all their ropes and their climbing stuff together. And
Milksmith walks up to where they're generally located, sitting down, probably eating and at their fire or whatever, and just sits down as if he it belongs there.
Oh, me? I'm Milksmith.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's like some people that are eating out of the like kind of soup bowl, kind of like getting warm in front of the fire, and among them is your contact, but he is basically ignoring you.
I sit down and I ask for some of their food. You have someone who's currently serving it. You have a little extra for a hungry dwarf.
Yeah. You say that, and then suddenly a bowl kind of gets pushed into your hand, and then a ladle comes down and like slaps the slop down, and then you look up and there's this like bibbed cook type character there, slams it down.
Why?
It says potato stew for you.
That'll do fine. Thank you. I deeply appreciate it.
Cook off, cook off, cook off, cook off.
Never gets more hour-long cook-off, just rolling the cooking dice.
No, Yiirik doesn't think his cooking is that fantastic.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't pride himself in that. He sits there for a while and then kind of poses a question to the group sitting around him. I hope you're all a hardy bunch. Seems your sponsor won't be moving along with you.
You're causing trouble everywhere. It's always like trying that Jimothy. Like, what did you
you guys out of town?
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, several of them like look up and they all, it's like record scratch, right?
Yep.
The dude who's like cleaning out the horses like hooves just stops and turns and looks over and yeah. What do you mean by that?
My God, she lost her husband. I can't imagine moving past this point without him, correct?
The chef looks at you and says, "We all lost something out there. We ain't getting it back."
holds up his hand?
It was pretty rough at sea, I agree. I don't mean to intimidate or cause problems. I really just want to tell you should probably elect someone worthy of leading you, is all. I suspect the lady could potentially select someone, but think about it on your own.
Fighting.
Giovanni gets up and goes into the tent to go talk to Lady Narkinzi. Presumably.
By the way, I wish you the best of luck. He finishes his potatoes and cleans his bowl out somehow.
Mm-hmm. The big question is, how good is it, right? These potatoes, how does it compare?
It's a -1.
Yeah, it's not that great. It's slop, but it's sustenance.
Yeah,
It's
so
instant potatoes.
that was about it. He walks off, and
Okay.
after instilling this into the minds of these people.
I imagine that Jimothy comes out of the tent like at the same time as yeah, exactly, as Giovanni is entering. So he goes in there and maybe to talk to her. Jimothy seems proud that he's just pulled off his con, maybe. And
how are you doing this? Good luck in there.
I need names. Names, guys. Names. Timberbreast it is ordered to come out and help you guys to like load up the extra food.
Sweet.
Timberbreast.
Manhattan strong
Yeah,
arm
and he looks at Jimothy as they're loading up, and he says,
You best not be lying to my lady.
Oh, absolutely not. We would never.
She wouldn't be able to handle the broken heart. You promise her that you're gonna get her mister's body back. Oh God. I hope you can live up to that promise.
Why, absolutely. I have the croissant guarantee. And I smile, and there was a gold tooth that had been painted white, so no one had noticed. It's been chipping.
The croissant person guarantee.
Worthless curse.
yeah, I mean, he's ultimately not, like, actually provoking you or anything, but he's kind of making a little bit of a threat, or at least kind of like, you better come through with that promise.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to break her heart.
Oh.
So he's really just trying to guilt Jimothy, which he's immune to guilt, so I think you're fine.
Zero empathy.
Well spot, Jimothy!
I have a quick thing that I think Ash would do just before we leave the situation, if that's like where we're headed at this point. I think you would probably go and talk to Tay and ask her to ask around to see if there's another dracologist on this expedition, and to go sort of like just confer with them just to see if they know anything he does, basically to try and, you know, in his mind, talk to someone who is interested in the same things on this expedition that he is.
Yeah. So yeah, she goes and like talks to people for a while and returns to you and tells you that they don't have a dracologist, and that they're the closest thing that they have is they do have a very academic type who is an alchemist. That seems like the closest to what you're referring to.
He's not interested.
Yeah, that's probably good.
He walks away.
Nicodemus Carnislav.
Yep.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. His rival.
Alchemists, they get such a bad rap.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he was just looking for some dragon talk. That's all.
Of course.
Get some of that drag talk.
Okay, anything else that you guys feel like you need to do on your way out of the town?
No, Lexi feels compelled to ask somebody like where Robin would be, his son. So.
If they'd seen a man.
Asking anybody from the expedition.
Yeah. I don't feel like provoking the very like
the town.
No, not the town, but I mean lady.
Yes,
Narkinzi. But maybe I would talk to what was it, Timberbrust, as he was helping to like load up stuff.
Yeah. Is he Sir Timberbrust? It's important.
Sir Timberbrust.
Is he?
I don't know that he's
like
knighted.
I don't think he's a knight. I think he's a little too.
He's one half knight, one half vampire.
He's a little too.
Mr. Timberbrust.
Yeah, he
there you go, Mister. That's it.
Master.
Master Timberbrust.
That sounds great.
Timberbrust.
Master Timberbrust. Say hi to Tiny Little Dragon.
What's up?
Hi, Tiny Little Dragon.
Hello.
Who is it?
Sweet red font.
I don't know, but they have great minis for Warhammer.
Yeah, we're showing off their
Oh, sweet.
custom army.
Rude term
Yes.
to refer to Warhammer.
Nice.
Oop.
I don't
Fantastic.
think so.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are making your way out of town now?
Yeah, we're leaving now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Other than
have.
this.
I don't want to know.
So much work.
Yeah, the continued evolution of the path we're on.
Yeah. Let's get,
I was going to
Lobby's
ask
like,
about,
everyone
I think,
out,
the rock
out.
formation. That
Yes.
was really it.
Yes, so that's where I'm. That's the last thing that I want to do before we go on break.
Okay.
So you guys make your way finally out of. Well, okay. Do you maybe stay the night, and like rest, or are you just heading out that same? Oh, I had said that you were coming in the evening, so it would be night right now.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Thanks for the follow. One Manco. One Manco, son. Thanks for the follow.
Indeed.
Also, thanks for the follow, Tiny Little Dragon.
Yes.
Love you guys. Hope you're enjoying.
I love you guys.
Okay, so you guys make your way out of town, and it's like several miles out of town before you get to this place where this rock formation is. But the thing that
Did we rest up? Clarifying.
sorry, I skipped that, but I think that's the idea, right? Is you guys are
Did we get our
That
tokens
makes
if we spent
sense.
them back? Or is that a no?
No, it's for the session, not for sleeping. Yeah. So the next day, you guys roll out. Oh, I don't remember what day it was. So calendar.
Ooh, hold on.
It was the 5th.
Sickle of
Yeah.
Harvest's will?
Yes. So now.
Oh, this is important.
So the next day it is.
Also, Tiny Little Dragon was our 100th follower.
What?
Yep.
You got $100 coming to you in the mail.
That definitely.
I just sent it.
You do not.
Yes, it's on its way.
Jimothy time
Awesome.
right there.
Awesome.
It's $100 in Jimothy bucks.
Pull up that calendar key.
Calendar. All
All
right.
right.
Oh, wait. There we go. Okay, calendar.
Yep. It is now the
And look at
6th.
that thing on it.
Jim Bucks.
It's the 6th sickle of Harvest Will.
So, like, right there? What do you think? Right there?
That seems
Well,
good.
yeah.
Maybe a little bit to the
Each of those, like, see how it's like light brown, dark brown, light brown? Each of those is a 10-day.
Okay, so it's like there.
I still
Yeah,
think it's
exactly.
really is
Okay.
like a great name.
10
Yeah,
days?
it's important. Calendar hype.
Oh, a 10 day. Yeah.
I stole that from Ed Greenwood. Yeah.
Okay, and then also we're still in the Ekshaw village.
Yep.
A little bit out.
Yeah, I mean, just a little bit out into the inland, a couple miles. Your horses.
Oh, are we riding?
Of course. Why don't I bring? I need to bring.
Our sick horse is making that noise.
And no semi-trucks?
Because they're also called and named.
That was only on the ocean.
So as you guys,
It's about 100 Stanley nickels.
as you guys are getting up to this point, you and perhaps you're looking behind you. You are preparing to cross the line beyond the vision of the rings.
Oh,
So you guys are looking at the horizon behind you, and the rings are so low; they're just barely up over the like water. As you're looking out over the ocean, you're beginning to kind of climb your ascent.
Sounds beautiful.
Audience, he's talking about rings like Saturn rings. This planet has.
Yep, planet has rings around it, and those rings are around the equator. So at some point, as you go north and north and north, you get to the point where the shape of the planet blocks out the rings.
Do we have moons?
And this is a particularly weird thing because
Not positive.
in this world, people believe that the gods live on the rings. There are essentially 13 kind of distinct or rings to them, and those are the 12 gods, the 13th god being the evil one. And yeah, they believe that they live there on the rings. So you are not only going so far north that you can't see the rings anymore, but many theorize that nor can the gods see you. It's the same idea with when people travel beneath the ring line. If you go under the equator, if you can imagine like the people standing on the rings, right? That if you were to go under the rings, then you would be like beneath their feet. So the same idea is that if you sail beyond the equator and beneath the ring line, then you are going beyond the side of the gods. So
It doesn't sound
that
safe.
is where you are, and you guys are coming up to this point, and there are these two big stones on either side of the road that are essentially marking this point. This is past this point is beyond the side of the gods, and on these stones are all of these names inscribed on them.
I think Firla would make some kind of comment that was meant to be reassuring of it doesn't matter that the gods can't see us because the gods don't exist and man made up all the gods anyway.
Lhanji's not much of a believer, so and though I feel like probably this is one of the moments where you would have to stare back and question.
Yeah, I don't believe in the gods.
Yeah, you're like, well, but if.
Yeah.
80% of everyone else does.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you?
What are these names? Just like random like scrawled names?
So yeah, as you're looking
into
through
stone
them,
or painted
and this is confirming what Jimothy was told earlier. If like Jimothy is the one that's doing this searching, he would know that they're the names of mostly expeditions, people who've marched past this point. There are also like names of military individuals. That there's a like fort that is some ways north of here that was like kind of kept for a while. People who have gone beyond and who have felt the compulsion to write their names that I was here.
Okay.
Alexi does not know anything about
Right.
that,
Right.
and yeah, if is Jimothy checking for Corvin's name?
I think he's checking for both, but not indicating which one he's looking for.
Both Corvin and Robin,
Yeah.
and not the wife, your wife.
I haven't. I guess Jimothy can start looking, and then he can kind of figure out like what this is.
Well, I don't even think you have to roll. If he takes enough
Oh,
time, he finds Corvin's name.
Does he find? So, but it's only
It's Corvin's name because you said that
Corvus?
was the name that he was using to cover up, right?
Right. So there's no Robin. So it's just that one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Robin.
Well,
Yes.
in that case,
So Jimothy knows at least that Alexi's son definitely was at this point.
So I'm
beyond
going to
this
turn
point.
back and tell Alexi that
Unfortunately, I don't seem to see your son's name here, but I do see plenty of other fellow expeditioners.
He's lying to him, yeah.
absolutely.
Shit.
He's compelled to lie.
I'm gonna burn Jimothy alive.
Wait, nobody else knows that.
I know.
Not yet.
Yeah, okay.
But I really hope that does happen.
I'm
at
just
some
looking
point.
into the future.
I really hope so.
I'm sorry that me killing that guard has set us on the darkest timeline.
I'm okay with that. This is really fun.
I mean, I feel like
I don't think your timeline is that dark.
there are dark
I think
times
you've
ahead.
basically made up for it by doing that and not having it be more bloodshed.
Yeah, we didn't go.
Didn't just burn the village.
The Elder Scrolls on it
Yeah.
and kill everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, hold on, reload.
Murder vacation. I feel like Ash would look for Cedric's name for his.
Yes, Cedric, I think, is still behind you guys, right? Because there were 3 expeditions and one was behind, and I believe it was Cedric's expedition that was in the behind right now.
Okay. He would probably.
The Guiding Light expedition, right?
Right.
That's Sister Darling Akobe, Cedric Oilburn, and Gaunter Lockheed are in that expedition, and as you guys know, they seem to be. You don't know how far behind you they are. The Narkenses are here, basically, and the Brideports are ahead.
Wait, wasn't he with the Brideports?
Can
No.
Alexi?
Cedric is with the Guiding Light.
I didn't pick a name for Alexi's wife, so if you guys just want to come up with one, that's cool.
Julia.
Chat, what's Lexi's wife's name?
Karafra.
That's her maiden name.
Jimothy's in love.
Alexis.
Alexis.
Aw,
Alexis and Alexi.
No.
it's confusing.
No.
How cute.
Okay, I
But
think
he was gonna search and see. I don't know if you want to.
yeah. Well, we can like touch up on that after the break or even during the break, and let the audience know. But I think we need to take a break
Okay, cool.
and get back to it. So,
I'm just trying to
15-minute
think of
break,
something
Keith.
to like.
All right, 15-minute break. Give me 3 seconds to get that queued up.
Yep, stick tuned. We've got some serious action coming up after this. Kirby, don't go anywhere. Character deaths are incoming.
It involves Kalima eating as well.
All right, you guys.
Eating.
No.
You guys ready?
Should we do a dance outro for our 100th follower?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
dance
so.
Outro.
All right,
How
let's
does that
hit
go?
it. Let's hit it.
One.
Yo, welcome back.
We're here.
Thanks for waiting.
Welcome back.
First of all, before we start anything, I have to brag on my friend, on the player at our table, and the incredible creative genius of Eric, who is a composer. Eric recently composed the score for the game Ashen. It's awesome. The score is incredible. And it's like,
Soundtrack is releasing this weekend.
oh, really?
Yeah. it'll
Okay,
be up
where?
on Spotify.
Oh, yeah.
and,
Okay.
You know.
I'm there.
Apple
So if they
Music
just search
and wherever.
Ashen, and how much of this is it that like the 24 track or whatever that you had kind of shared
Yep.
with me? Okay, cool.
Yep.
Awesome. It's so good. It's cool, like ambient sort of, not meant to really like take over the scene at all, but meant to just
Except for the boss
Inspired.
fights.
The boss fights are like big and really exciting. I actually tracked some guitar. Is that one on that?
No,
It's
no,
not. Yeah,
no,
I tracked some
no.
guitars with Eric on one of the boss fight songs. It was super cool. But Eric wrote us the theme song for the Heroes Guild, which is a organization that I started here in Nashville, teaching kids role-playing games and teaching them like good morals and just being good people through these games. And through that experience, Keith and I have joined forces to build our own role-playing game, the Heroes Guild RPG, which is taking all of these lessons that we've learned and directly applying them to the mechanics of the game. Your character is more powerful the more good that you do. So we're rewarding kids for doing good. And it's worked. It's worked brilliantly. We've play tested like I've lost track, 600 hours or something of it, and we're hoping to kickstart it this summer, or sometime this year, 2019. Heroes Guild RPG will be kickstarted.
Our
characters would.
Kirby. I'm gonna say it's basically the opposite of what we're doing here.
Yeah, if I were GMing this table at the Heroes Guild, I would be docking Firla for killing that guard.
Yes.
Certainly.
Yes.
And for lying to Lady Narkinzi about retrieving her husband's body, which is horrible.
That is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Well, it's to make her feel better, okay? She feels better about it.
There's something wrong with the audio.
Did you unmute yourself?
Is anybody else having audio issues? Okay. Yeah, you might want to try refreshing Tiny Dragon.
Yeah, so Eric composed the theme song for us, which we will it will be definitely on the Kickstarter video.
Yep.
We're also got like a podcast in the works that it would be like a theme for the podcast.
We've already had one episode kind of recorded that would be a great example to check out.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah. If you want to have an idea of what the Heroes Guild is about, this is like a maybe a 30-minute podcast, and it's wonderful, and the kids are adorable. I run them through an adventure. It's great. Come check it out. Come be a part of the Heroes Guild. Be a part of making the world a better place through gaming. And yeah, if you want to get involved, like, get a hold of us. And Eric got a hold of me and was like, I don't really play these games. I don't know a lot about them. I don't know how I can help. But what I can do is write some awesome music. And that's been a cool thing about it. Is just people bringing what they do best and figuring out how they can fit it in to help. So, yeah. Excellent. You guys are at the line at which you will walk beyond the sight of the gods. You're staring at these stones.
Yiirik is carving his name into one.
Okay.
And he also positions Kalima backwards towards one, slaps her on the ass to where she kicks the stone with her hoof.
Leaves a little
The stone fucking falls.
topples the whole thing.
Hopefully just making a print.
Kalima is a god, right? Yeah.
And yeah, he loves this.
Awesome.
This is
I just
what
love
he's
it.
about.
All caps milks.
Oh yeah. The first,
I kinda want you to skip
first of
coffee,
his
just
line
like
to make it past this point.
In
Yeah.
parentheses, have you heard of me?
Anyone else inscribing anything on these or looking for anything on these?
Ash is looking for a hidden mark.
Yes.
on-
Okay.
On these posts.
Great.
What? I know search is going to be survival, but that doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think that's right here. I think it's maybe closer to academics or something. You know, it's
Great.
Yeah.
Whoa! Ooh! Good lord!
Dice.
Is that all? Okay, that's 3.
So, yeah,
That's
but-
already wrong.
So I got a 0. Yeah,
Well,
that
0 definitely doesn't do it.
puts me at 0. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
He gives up after 30 seconds.
Okay. Yeah. You don't find anything, but you know that it would be hidden indeed. So perhaps too well hidden.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
I think Firla is making some kind of comment about how humans feel the need to scratch their names into into things.
Firla's just a real party animal, huh? Just real life of the party.
as if they feel the need to exist beyond their mortal coil.
Your gods are nothing. Your habits are frivolous.
It's kind of fun. Why don't you try it? Yirik's handing over whatever he's been inscribing into
Carving.
the stone with.
Yeah, stone carving.
Come on.
A chisel, hammer and chisel.
Perhaps I'll forgive you for your vile actions.
I paid the price for my vile actions. Points at my
Baby hand.
molten stub of an arm.
I guess you couldn't chisel. That's right. So Yirik starts to chisel your name for you, if you want me to.
What a dick!
I will leave my mark in my own way.
Good.
Firla pisses
You
off.
are
I was just about to say.
You are
Just
part
staring
of
at
this,
your.
this earth
While staring at everyone, just pissed.
and this adventure.
Meanwhile, the Snowvine bursts out of the ground, like, with a half-decomposed guard, like, tangled in its...
Oh god, it's still got that.
Oh no!
It's still breaking him down. Oh right, like inside, right? Like we were saying that it's like a snake, where it's like you can see the form of the body.
I feel like its roots, like, wrap around it in a weird way, so it's like there's parts of him still, like, kind
I
of
like that.
stuck in this.
Is it still like twitching even just a little bit?
That's rough.
We can't tell if it's because it's being squeezed to death or if it's.
There's like the head and like a mouth is open in a scream.
I don't like it.
What?
Yeah. I'm all about this.
Pried open his mouth and are go burrowing into his eyes. Sorry.
I want it to be like a thin layer of bark that's like covered over its face while it's just like I have a mouth and I cannot scream.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to do one more like additional thing on, on looking for the. I want to try to compel my. This would be a thing, right? Like, so I would compel an aspect to try and get another.
Yeah, compel a trouble.
It would have to be the trouble.
Mm-hmm. It has to be creating trouble for yourself in order to earn the fate point.
Well, it wouldn't necessarily be my trouble. It would be my secret aspect. In that I'd be trying to make the mark without being seen. In which, if I fail, then I would have to give.
It's like a stealth.
Okay, well, I think I would give it to you, but I think that I feel like I don't think you can make the check. I think you have to give up a secret. It's the same thing of like if you want to compel your secret aspect, you have to tell people. Like I think if you want to compel your aspect, you have to reveal it to people as well, right?
Not reveal the secret. Reveal part of it.
An element of it, like yeah, or yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll attempt to do that then. So do I need to?
There's
do a
no roll,
for that?
no, and,
okay.
and that just comes from the pool.
All right.
So you earn a
as
fate
I'm
point.
searching for, and I don't find the symbol, you sort of see me. I don't know who does, but I.
The people that said that they were there,
probably
like
Yiirik sees this.
yeah, Yiirik is doing it, and Firla.
Oh,
and,
do I get to roll?
I think you just.
I think you guys just see.
Yeah.
Oh, we're hearing a bit of your secret.
Yeah.
You was Jimothy was certainly checking the wall.
He was definitely checking the wall for sure. Yeah.
So Jimothy would be witnessing this as well.
Okay, you see Ash sort of go up and you know, looking around the names for something, which it seems to not make sense as he didn't have any sort of like connections of that sort. But then he sort of gets out a small, little rod and tries to very sneakily make a little symbol, and it's sort of like a two. Can I make up a symbol?
Yeah.
Or is there like
yes?
Okay.
Go for it.
And it's just sort of a symbol, like these two sort of lines crossed with a little like indentation and a little flourish on the top. He makes this sort of secret symbol, is like kind of as high up as he can, sort of around the back. Tries to do it sneakily.
If I can speak for Yiirik for just a second, I just imagine that Yiirik sees this and the way that he is, he's just like, oh, what's that, right? Like, you would just say something, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's it's a habit. I shout it everywhere.
A habit.
Yeah, you know, like
Biting your nails is a habit. Go on.
You know, being away from the rings and everything, I guess I'm just feeling superstitious. It's nothing. He tries to get out of this. I try to walk away.
Yeah.
Basically.
We have a semi-godless crew here, but I understand. I understand.
To correct you, I'm not godless. I just believe that we are all gods together.
Did you make your mark yet?
I take this as my out. And I'm like,
Yeah, totally.
yeah, I'm back to Firla. Like out of here.
I'm like, how about you hold the rock and I will hold the chisel?
I love teamwork. Let's do it.
I smash your hand. Because I am compelled, because I have a human heart, a soft human heart.
That's right.
Beneath the bark. So I
was gonna compel that against you if you weren't gonna do it.
I mean, it's not much real trouble, so I don't think I earn any fate point, but I think I am lowercase compelled, not uppercase compelled to do it. So yeah.
Yeah, these other humans have felt a need to put their marks here. Maybe there's something to it.
Interrupt Firla before they get a chance to like actually make a mark. I'm like,
Guide, do not scribe your name on that rock. We have no idea what gods would be here. These could perhaps be sacred rocks, and scribing our names in them could be spitting in their eye.
Oh, come now, Alexi,
We
stop
invoke the
that.
wrath of the gods. We are moving beyond the eyes of the gods. We have no idea what we're seeing in front of us.
True, then why would their names be on these rocks? You're being ridiculous.
We've already been
Do we know if
spit in
any
their
of
eyes
these
many
names
times.
that have been scribed here have returned from whence they came?
I have no idea what you're talking about. This is for fun.
We don't know if any
little.
of these people died out there. They could be marking the names of the dead. If we add our names to these, we could be amongst the dead if we move forward through here. I will take no step forward beyond these rocks right here, and I will not have any of you scribe your name.
Yeah, you're compelling your trouble that you're superstitious. He's gonna need to be convinced. I mean, certainly PCs can roll against each other, yeah, in the way of convincing.
Convinced to go further, or
yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't know.
I refuse.
It needs to be
move
creating
beyond
trouble
this, 'cause
in
I
some
don't
way.
think-
Oh,
I wouldn't go past this because
Yeah.
I've smelled bad juju from one marking these rocks and two going past this.
bad juju is gonna be when we leave you here and you have to go back to that village.
yeah, this is what you signed up for.
I got a negative. I got a 1 on my rapport. That's not very good.
I don't
Probably a will.
will. Okay. There's like no room. I got I guess a 2, and I don't have a number 4, so just a 2.
Yeah, so you beat me. I'm not convincing.
So I'm actually like taking the chisel from your hands. Like,
I'm doing this to protect the crew. You have no idea what horrible curses you invoke upon this crew.
Lhanji has not done any scribing, but she has been watching the crew interact with each other, which I think is probably what she's doing if I'm not specifying actions.
Yeah,
She's
just being very
observing
watchful,
her
yeah.
peeps. Not as watchful as Navius, but you know. Watching for fun. But we now are at a point where we need to intervene with the antics. Alexi, I'm surprised at you.
Ma'am?
Your face is wavering in front of a couple of rocks.
This is no faith, ma'am. I have no faith in any of these gods out here, but I do have, I would rather be cautious. Would rather not invoke any shaman or witches or anyone else who would have enchanted or cursed these rocks. We add our names to these, we could give power over our names and our lives to anyone out there.
Jimothy?
oh, Timothy. Oh yes, we should be careful after all.
Please do not upset the big man. This is something that he's just gonna have to work out.
Does he call him the big
out
man?
Of this.
All right.
Not get involved.
Yes.
Lhanji is
big
gonna
man.
we're gonna do a 180 to Jimothy here, where we're gonna link arms and pull to the side.
Oh, one moment.
I've noticed he takes your word very seriously.
Oh, well, I do have a bit of a way with the big man, you know.
Tell him there's no harm in proceeding, Jimothy.
But how do we know that there's actually not any harm? You know, after all, do we know if any of these people have actually come back from, you know, out there in the wastes?
We're just gonna reach into the coat and pull out Jimothy's dossier. Please tell him. I wouldn't want him to know anything.
Can I see what's on that piece of
Not.
What are you referencing there?
In the background, Milksmith is trying to pull the chisel out of Alexi's hand, and they're like going back and forth like this while this conversation.
I'll give Jimothy a report.
Okay.
Oh my!
+3.
What
Versus
do
your
I
will.
what my will? Okay, which is
I think.
Timothy doesn't have any will.
Excellent.
Oh, but he can definitely deceive, depending on how this goes. Oh god, can you get that?
Boy dice.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gonna do it.
I got a 0. He crumbles amidst the strong words of Lady Greed.
I would too.
Yeah, so now go deceive Alexi into doing what
Yeah. Well, after much deliberation, of course, coming to a mutual understanding that we both I will go and talk to the big man and see if we can get to the
Big
cause.
man.
After all, we're going to need his strength, and after all, I'm so glad we're gonna have this talk and that you agree with me.
am 100% in your confidence, Jimothy.
Absolutely, of course. You know, I am such an essential member of this crew after all. So I will do what must be done, and of course, this is my cross to bear. Yep, I'll just pull up my,
I don't know that Jimothy's ever bore any cross.
So you come back to Yiirik trying to wrestle this thing out of
You're like,
Alexi's hand.
give me that chisel! You don't understand what you toil with!
This is my chisel.
I'm doing this for your own good!
Meanwhile,
You could invoke the wrath of the gods!
Firla is just shaking their head and saying, humans. This carving of rocks has gotten out of hand.
Okay, do I need to roll against my own PC then? To like deceive him, or can I just do like a spiel?
I
Can we
think.
say this was enough to succeed?
Yes, I think so.
That
Yeah.
seems like a blue success.
Alright. So I'll just do a quick little thing so we move on. I'm gonna use a prop.
Yes.
So
I'm Alexi?
Yeah, why not? Actually,
Yeah.
So I haven't drawn him yet, but I envision it's like an idealized version of you.
Awesome, but like
Yes.
but big and muscular. 'cause
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
a strong fighter.
Well,
he
you know,
does.
just an
Yeah.
idealized version.
Excellent.
Yeah. I was like, would he have long hair? Yeah, he would. We have a cool ass beard, probably.
I'm not taking a step further, Jimothy.
And perfect. He's already got the voice.
Well, you see, my dear friend, we're going to have to work our way through this after all. You see, I don't believe that these are, cursed at all. I've been looking and, I don't see the name of your son up here, so clearly nothing bad would have befallen your son, and he could actually be out there. We don't know.
But don't you think my son would have written his name on these stones if he had passed here?
Well, we don't know that. After all, he could be quite an academic type. He may have known that, you would not write your names out there. That said, I don't think there's anything that is that inappropriate about scribing your names. Think of it this way. You see, some people, when they come this far, they endure many arduous tasks, and something that really brings the morale of the group together is to sometimes scroll your name on a wall. In this case, it's these giant stone pillars or rocks or whatever you want to call them. And so, I think, in fact, it might actually be best if you were to scroll your name. You see, think of it this way. As I'm coming up with this all on the spot, if you write your name there, think about what we just did. We scanned these columns here. We looked for names of perhaps familiar loved ones. Perhaps as a way or a sign to let them know that we've passed through here. So, if we were to scribe our names here, that would let someone know that we left a little bit of a breadcrumb for them to come and follow us. You see, this is if you think logically, the most efficient way to find your son and perhaps even your wife. You know, I'm sure you still care about her. You haven't really talked about her all that much in several days. You know,
I think.
almost as if you forgot
I like that
about
he's
her.
putting that on me somehow in this moment, even though it's his character.
You see, I think it's in our best interest. Again, coming back to the time at hand. One, we give back the chisel. You know, we do need to increase the rapport in our group. We cannot have infighting after all. Two, we go ahead and chisel our names on here so that if perhaps you find your son, he might know that we came this way and follow us. And three, stop acting like such a child. You are a decorated veteran, and you managed to take on even a giant polar lion. You're stronger than this. I know that you can do this.
Now, what I think is actually happening here is that we are undermining the millions of years of wind breaking down this stone to a smooth shape by arbitrarily carving sigils into it. But
now
do what you will.
You know, it is, of course, a metaphor for life. You know, sometimes what marks we leave on the world, they do fade over time, but again, for that period of time, we are scrolling our names in triumph. Therefore, you need to get on there.
Riveting debate on the road.
Indeed. So,
Yeah, Alexi is convinced. He says,
Well, you haven't led me astray so far, Jimothy, and
absolutely never.
and you have promised me to help me find my family, so
Absolutely, and I think we're all hot on the trail. I can smell it
I
now.
won't forget that promise.
I hope you won't.
Kirby said it best. Jimothy is so good at blaming people, he broke the fourth wall just to blame the DM.
I was actually blaming me for not having brought up the wife.
Yes.
But yes.
hilarious. I love it. Okay, yeah, so you guys head out on the road. You do eventually pass the site of the rings, and you are beyond the sight of the gods, perhaps. You make your way, it's kind of some switchbacks until you kind of plateau, and at this point you're still able to look above and down many miles down below. You can just barely see the Ekshaw village and smoke rising up. Fortunately, not everything is on fire, because you guys decided not to do that.
I give them the middle.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And you guys do spot
Why didn't we set it on fire?
pulling into the harbor is another tall ship.
Ooh.
Like an icebreaker type ship. And you're a really long ways away, but it doesn't look like the one that you guys were on. The sails are different or something.
Get that.
So presumably another expedition that's a little ways behind.
Yeah, a few days behind
They're
us.
not going to meet at Friendly Village, that's for sure.
Right? I think maybe Lhanji accomplished her task anyway.
If I can't have it, no one can.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to fucking trade with another expedition, that's for sure.
Setting a
Man,
precedent.
I should have
That's so
said,
good.
I should have said, I know all these people.
Yeah. Make them out to have been
This
friends.
person will come in
Darn.
behind and give you the gifts you need.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Okay.
And you're friends of the forest spirit, Firla. That's shitty.
Okay, so you guys travel for some days, huh?
Ooh, we need to switch
So-
to the map, don't we?
So,
Maps.
yeah, but before we do that, maybe because we don't know how many days we're traveling. Yeah, you guys have what, 3 days worth of food right now?
Depends on how well I cook.
Ah, yes. Oh, okay. So Daniel, something I thought about this since last week.
Okay.
So a success will definitely decrease it by 1.
Yes.
Right. But I think a great success is going to give you a boost rather than
Instead of
like
-2?
yeah, it just seemed like it was a little bit too much.
Okay.
But a boost, you can still be like, you're like well fed or you know, and you just put that out on the table and you're like, everybody ate from my food, so somebody can invoke like well fed at some point to like get next, you know. you'd be putting free boosts out on the table if you succeed with style rather than
Delayed
Sweet.
nap hype.
Jimmy the 8, Alexi's seconds, and that's double.
So yeah, let's just do it like every day, right? So you guys travel. So it was the 6th sickle. So in the evening of the 6th sickle, you guys camp, and you have at this point you have all your tents and everything that you need. Yeah. You'll probably need to get some water. But
We haven't.
Okay, you stopped and filled
We
that.
said that at that lake we spent the day
Okay, cool.
or whatever, so we're
Cool.
full up on water.
Yes, gotcha. Okay. So you're cooking for the first day?
Wow. I don't do shit.
Cooking on the move. Don't have the,
I got a
the
0.
ship galley.
No, I got a 1. I got a +1. What is the cooking?
Yeah. Well, I think the challenge level varies,
Yeah.
right, depending on the circumstances. And these circumstances don't seem too bad.
I got a 1.
I think a 1 is sufficient. Yeah.
Okay. And you said each day it's for 20 people it's 4.
Yes.
All right. So that's it. And we're also reducing water too, right?
No. I don't think cooking reduces your water
No,
consumption.
not. I mean, I'm taking
Yes.
it away.
Yes. Mhm.
And is it 4 as well?
Yes.
Alrighty.
Okay. Anybody else want to do anything that night? Like, I guess you guys kind of have. If you want to scavenge, you can, but also you have days worth of like traveling that you can do before you scavenge. So
That night, I really want to like treat my injury.
yeah.
But it would be nice if I got some help on that, because the difficulty is going to be a 6.
A 6. Mm-hmm.
I would maybe.
I have plenty of
Offer to
essential oils for my multi-level marketing scheme.
You got
Does
chapstick.
sound helpful.
Yeah. Chapstick that saves off death.
I would.
Actually, I've got this
I would
great
probably.
fertilizer.
If I like, so are you sort of like announcing that you're looking for help, kind of thing? If I saw Jimothy approach you, I would attempt to try and cut him off and help you instead.
Okay.
Wait, what are you doing over there? Do you need any assistance?
I think I would step
Your
in front and
healer's here to help.
I would sort of give him a look and just a little bit of fire at the fingertips.
Oh, we're going to cauterize the wound. How delightful. That's very smart thinking.
I think she's been plenty cauterized.
Yeah, seriously, there's been enough fire involved.
Yeah, I think it's like a lot of bandaging and like moss.
Yeah, go for it.
Like,
I'm
okay.
scared off.
padding and stuff
Poultices
like that.
and full mud.
Sufficiently hold back.
All right, I have natural healer stunt, so I can use survival to address consequences that are physical in nature.
Would this be a survival to help you out then?
You could probably use like
I have high academics.
lore
What-
or
what's an
academics to heal.
Academics,
Yeah.
I'd use-
But you are going to be using medical supplies, right? You guys brought some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
medical
Mm-hmm. You'll still be checking off an invoke of medicine.
Okay. And then
Do I
I
need
think
to
he
roll
would just
academics
add
at all, or
Yes.
one.
I do need to roll.
Well, wait. Would he just add 1 to my? Well, I guess I can't treat myself.
I don't know about that.
I don't think you can treat
not,
yourself.
Not familiar with
That
that.
Makes sense
mechanic.
that someone else would be treated.
Yeah.
I will attempt to use academics.
But it seems like you could add a +1.
Yeah, I'll aid him.
Team at
With
least.
advice, yeah.
Okay, so I got a +2 on on healing you. To 6.
Yeah.
But does the medicine?
It just allows you to do it.
Gotcha.
To use
Okay.
medicine
That makes
or
sense.
academics to heal. It's it's bandages and like potions and stuff,
Yeah.
right? Because
Okay, we'll just wait off and I'll
sorry.
heal it later, yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We'll
Nobody-
have to set up like some advantages and whatnot
Jimothy was gonna.
to nail
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. We should think next time we should create some advantages.
Yeah.
Why don't we go ahead and do that? Jimothy can
Yes.
like,
On the next day
create
or
an
something.
advantage or something for tomorrow or something, like create an oil that
What would you like me to do? I have some great oils that you could put on your blades, for example. They would perhaps make them sharper, perhaps even sink into some flesh quite efficiently.
no not
Well, is anyone else doing anything tonight, like, or during this day?
that's what I was saying, like we could go ahead and create an advantage
For the night.
that tomorrow. Like him to make up a snake oil of some healing type or
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I mean, I could sell you some very expensive potions that are, in fact, actual snake oils. You see, you open it up, uncork it, and you throw it at someone, and the liquid comes out as a...
I'm not sure I care what it is. I just really wanted to do its job.
I want you to be convinced that this is, in fact, true.
Listen, I'm convinced. Just do it.
Well, you say so, sir. Tough customer.
Okay.
What do I need to actually roll for that?
Yeah, because that would potentially give it more invokes.
Sure. All right.
Create like a healing salve.
Oh, you're
or
creating an
something.
advantage.
He's asked me to create some action. I mean, it's not going to have any snakes, but I'm going to call it snake oil.
It won't have
Do I
any
need?
snakes.
Do I need? Do I
Which
need to
fits in
have?
with your character.
Arm
You
oil.
call
Do I
it
need
a
to roll
snake
for
oil.
deceive or academics?
I swear, it's a placebo.
Yeah.
I feel better. More like a placebo.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess you guys.
No, use
Yeah. So your main NPCs definitely can have stunts, and that seems like something that would be a stunt to me. I was also going to mention, Daniel, that if you want to be healing with your cooking, I think you need to take a stunt,
Okay.
which would be like.
Or could that count as the boost potentially? Or no? Okay.
No, I think really your cooking is just reducing your invokes is the
Yeah.
main thing. But I mean, it's a stunt, and then you could be like chicken soup for the soul. I can heal like mental damage with my cooking in
Yeah.
the same way that Keith took a stunt to be able to heal
survival.
physical damage using survival.
Yeah.
Right? It's using a
Yes.
skill for something that it's not usually used for.
I gotcha.
I know I had said that before, but I'm still kind of working through the rules
That makes
on that.
sense.
So
I probably won't because I like my fate tokens.
yeah,
But
I
I'll
understand.
keep that.
I know. I'm also
in mind.
kind of trying to get you guys to do some stunts because that reduces your fate. I mean, they're good. They're powerful too. But you guys have a lot of fate points, and I'm trying to like you guys are blowing all of them every time.
Hey,
What
if
you
you're
sh- what you
if you're
should do.
tempting us to get some stunts, I'll go look them up. I got too many fate tokens.
I actually took a stunt this session, tough as nails, which lets me reduce like consequences if
Okay.
I spend a fate point. It's an
baby
endurance stunt. So now my refresh is a 3.
Gotcha.
That should be. You should grow a baby hand for every cut that you.
Okay, are we still resolving something here?
Are you
are
gonna
you-
make a
are you
potion?
rolling?
Yeah,
or-
absolutely.
Okay,
If
cool.
you're down, if that's a thing you want me to do, do I need to take a stunt? Can you take a stunt on a side character?
Oh, I think. Oh, to do the deceive to heal.
Oh, it was to create a boost. I was like,
You can create an aspect. You don't have to like
Don't
do
make
a
a
stunt
boost.
to do that necessarily.
Yeah. You're just creating an advantage, right?
yeah, and I was like half joking, half serious. Like, should I do deceive because it's more of like a placebo because it's told as like a snake potion, or do you want me to just do academics?
Academics. Yeah.
I mean, will the placebo actually
Not gonna help.
It
I
won't
roll
actually
poorly,
create
I'll be
an
like,
advantage if it doesn't work.
It was actually. I mean, it does because it's like pumping you up. You feel like you're invigorated, even if it's just literally shit. You know what I mean? That's what a snake oil does. It's true. Okay, so that's a 7.
Damn.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
think 'cause he's a plus
This is a really serious placebo.
4.
It is. Yeah.
You should have told me to do deceive. Yeah. So plus the
Yeah. Plus your dice, you're at a 7.
actually 6. Sorry, my bad. 6.
6 is so
So juicy.
crazy.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the DC was the 6 there. It seems like it would have been lower for creating an
Yeah.
advantage, right? So it seems like you probably succeed with style with a 6. I think.
Nice.
Excelsior!
What do you think this is? A snake oil salve? Yeah. Does that sound good?
Snaky salve.
Yeah.
Snaky
Curative.
So that's basically saying like if we're gonna try and do like an academic, if we're gonna try and heal
Accidentally spill it
again
on, like,
tomorrow,
joggers,
like we
come
can
back to
invoke
life.
that to give a +2. Okay.
Yeah.
Bingo. Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
Made some
Is anyone
smelling
else
salts for
doing
you all.
anything tonight? Doing anything during this day? I guess like we all take a turn,
I am not.
right?
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, if people want to take a turn, but I feel like oftentimes there won't be that many things to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Mainly it's scavenging and like healing and having conversations.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, you guys pass. That was the first night out on the road, right? So you camp. So the next morning is the 7th sickle. You awake, travel through the day, and that night you are doing. Yeah. You're cooking again, Daniel?
Yep. And I got a 6.
Still a DC 1. Yeah, so you succeed with style.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, so we get a boost.
Like it.
Really
Yeah.
good dinner tonight.
I think you should roll the dice to tell us what it was that you cooked there.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
They're over there.
Where are they?
They're in my bag.
We need to. It needs to happen.
These dice are too good.
Why not?
Do it, do it, do it.
Oh no, I just drew on my pants.
Bummer.
Man, I do that. That is not succeeding with style.
Succeeding with
Or
derf.
is it?
Perhaps
Succeeding with derp.
Succeeding with derp. Where's the winter one?
Where's the winter?
Yeah, you got to pick out the right
Yeah,
season.
you need some root vegetables.
All right, here we go.
Oh my god.
All right, let's see what we got here. We got some. Oh, I brought some seitan with me. We'll go ahead and cook that up. Of course you did. It goes bad. It's rosemary seitan. It's braised rosemary seitan with a side of polenta and mushrooms flavored with fennel. It's just delightful.
That
We
sounds
had
So
the
nutritious.
last time.
So delicious.
I just thought I'd add a little something extra. You know?
exquisite.
Man.
Can we get something a little bit different from polenta?
We're in the forlorn waste and you're complaining about polenta?
Yeah, just suck it up.
All right, we got a food for the soul boost.
Can we sharpen blades? Is that like a thing? For a boost?
How do you want this boost to work? Because typically boost
I think
is just
so.
for one character.
Create an advantage with that.
Are boosts just for one character? I think boosts are just one-time use, but I don't think they're necessarily exclusive to you.
I see.
I think it's just anybody that, in this
One
case,
guy.
anybody that ate it.
You can't continue invoking it.
It's totally based on the narrative. Like if I were to use will to create an advantage, it would really only make sense that it would be me because I'm using like will to like focus my mental
Yeah.
state, right? As opposed to
Feeding everyone.
feeding everyone.
And then
yeah.
everybody has the ability to
So
stab it.
everyone's just well fed.
Yeah.
But a boost, you use it once and it goes away.
I got
So
you.
we won't-
Okay,
we
it's
won't
not
be
like an
able to-
aspect that we
I
can
thought
call
boosts
on
were
again.
specific to characters so that other people couldn't invoke them. I got you. Cool. Awesome.
Cool.
Feel good about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you also reduce the cost of your food by 1.
Yep.
Rather than aiding with the +1 on my cure, I'm gonna get into the right mental state with will. I'm gonna create an advantage with will and like put myself into a anesthetic kind of mental state, right? Calming my body and slowing my pulse, so to speak. And I got a 3 on that total. Does that seem to succeed?
Yeah, you're just creating an advantage for yourself?
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like I would go to Jimothy.
Meditative state.
Look, I may have been too hasty last night. I wasn't as much of a help as I thought, and I think that Firla could really use all the help that
Who are you talking to?
Jimothy.
Oh, okay.
Jimothy.
Sorry.
Firla could really use all the help that,
I didn't realize you were
they
talking.
they could get. If you could maybe come and see if you could help at all, that would be much appreciated.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to step on the toes of a fellow healer, a fellow mender of broken things. I don't know.
Please, Timothy, we
Just
need
not
your help
really-
so much.
Know that I'm really feeling up to it. I'm just trying really hard to be accepted by the group. I don't really want to cross anyone.
Timothy, you are a master healer, and only you can help me make this right.
Listen, Ash was it, right? Let's come here, old friend. Let's sit down for a moment.
Don't touch me.
No. That smell is not. That's from the dinner that we had. Seitan, it's.
These new aspects, Seitan doesn't sit well.
Seitan don't sit.
Quick question. Was it only Yiirik that saw him making those markings earlier, or did?
I think you were also. Jimothy was also.
Was it all three of us that were in that, or was it just Yiirik? Because you were saying
It was
that-
whoever was inscribed.
It was definitely Yiirik, Firla, and
Was he actually?
and
looking-
I don't think Jimothy, but Alexei was definitely, because Alexei was a part of that initial conversation when people's names were being marked. Jimothy came up like later once Alexei needed to be
Okay,
convinced.
I'm just trying to remember because I remember you saying that he was looking at the stones.
That's right. You did say that. You were up there.
It's all up to you because
Oh, right.
however you
Oh,
say
yeah, I'm
this
sorry.
is
Yeah,
just
Jimothy was up there looking.
He was
for,
he was
for
looking
names.
so
For
it all
Corvin.
this
So
all-
yes,
Corvus.
it's Corvus. Yes, he did.
okay.
He did witness it. Yes.
Get juicy with it.
That's where I was going. I didn't want to like overstep or anything.
So, young Ash, out here to make a name for yourself. Is that right? No. I get it. I've been here before, you know. When I was much younger, much bolder, brasher. Should have seen the physique I had when I spent the time to do my morning exercises and sword techniques.
Jimothy, I can't imagine you bolder.
Well, oh, flattery will get you everywhere, my friend.
Oh, I'm totally putting that as an aspect.
I think he actually has a blank spot, so I'll write that in. What is it?
Well, I had blood in the water, but I almost feel like flattery will get you everywhere.
Yeah.
Blood in the water is also so good.
Blood in the water is very.
But anyways,
They're just totally different sides of it.
Well, that's where I'm going with this. I was like, but anyway, while I happen to be perusing the names up there on that column, that there had to be a bit of a kerfuffle of earlier, and you notice you were walking behind the pillar, and looked like you were trying to scroll something there, at least set for something that definitely didn't seem like a name to me. Some sort of other language. I have to be a purveyor of many languages, but that one I was not quite recognized,
Jimothy, you of all people know that we all have skeletons in our closet, don't we?
Oh, not me. My record's purely clean. I don't know what you're talking about. Now, Alexei, he's got quite a checkered past, but
Checkered past.
I'm doing my best to guide him on the right path, But anyways, go on, Go ahead, let that good old dear Uncle Jimothy, be that shoulder that you can lean on. Are you in trouble? Are you a part of a gang? Whoa. You just let it out, and we'll make sure to keep this a secret between the two of us. But I will make sure to protect you.
Backpedal.
Bad uncle.
Jimothy,
bad touch.
I feel like this is a convince roll. I feel like this is a. This should be a roll.
oh shit.
I feel
This
like
is
you
a
can't just say
deceive, right?
I really just want to say no.
no. You do, but the dice shall
All right,
decide.
do I roll will against it, kind of thing?
I'm rolling deceive.
He's trying to convince me to give up my secret.
yeah. Which, by the way, to my knowledge, no one else is. I've made sure we're on the side and we're like hanging out behind a log or something.
I think it's a deceive. And also I feel like even here you don't necessarily have to like completely give out your secret, but it could be in the same way of being like.
But if I roll well, I can totally shut him down.
My intent is to just have leverage over you, but no one else.
You can use empathy to see through deceive as well.
KC, don't get on the board.
My will is stronger.
I got
Cool, that's good to know.
0,
It's
but
the
I would like
sense
to
motive.
compel my blood in the water to reroll. Because I smell a secret. I'm looking for leverage.
I currently have a 1.
Please be better. Okay, well, it was a 3 out of C. That's what I got.
Still doing it. Still very much doing
So it's succeeding. And you don't have to give everything away, just need enough.
it. Uncle Jimothy just a bit.
Why would
I was
anyone try?
I don't know. I was just thinking that you could invoke it, but then is it basically the same thing? So should there? I don't know. Should there be a higher cost for the fail?
Wait, how do you spell cert? Oh, that is trust backwards.
Well,
Yeah, that's right.
It doesn't follow the cert.
could I
way of
invoke my secret aspect in saying that I would not give this information out willy-nilly? Like, this would not be something that
Yes,
would be-
absolutely. So, but what I'm saying is that, as the rule that we have stated, like invoking the secret aspect means that you have to like give something.
right.
Kind of doing.
So it's kind of doing the same thing. So I don't know if like maybe the failure normally would
I
have been
could give
worse.
it to the table, but not to Jimothy.
I think Jimothy would be the only one that would know, but maybe you could.
Do
it
you
could be a
think
thing
they
that
want
could
to
be kept
step
between.
out for a second? Does that make you feel better?
No.
Actually, yeah, we could totally do that. If it's a conversation just between Jimothy and Ash, then the other people really shouldn't be hearing it.
Okay.
If you're cool
Yeah.
with it, the
All right,
conversation.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Heck yeah. I like this.
Eric, scoot over to Hannah's seat,
Yep.
and Keith is gonna switch the screen over to the one side.
All right.
Come sit next to your old
Shit.
Uncle Timothy.
Oh my god. I hate that more.
Is it so?
I hate that more than you know. This is
Listen, I have been practicing Joker from the animated series Arrow. And like
Yeah. Oh, so good. Yeah.
a little bit of Frieza and some other people just trying to cram it all
Oh, it's just
together.
really good. When Jimmy C dies, it's gonna be bad.
Oh yeah, it's gotta be. Wait, is he leaving too?
No, I think he's probably coming back.
Oh, I was like, it's a secret even from the GM.
Yeah.
Aye. So juicy.
Okay, yeah, I'm leaving.
Yeah, I definitely would scream it to everyone, but Jimothy, if that's an option.
I will say, let's try to keep it fast because this is very cold out there. It's like
Yeah, super,
30 degrees here
Oh,
in
sweet.
Nashville.
Yeah.
So tell a fellow concerned citizen, no, nay, your friend, tell Uncle Timothy what's going on.
Jimothy, you cannot speak of this to anyone.
Oh, absolutely. I would never say a word. Not to anyone.
Jimothy,
This would be sealed.
you cannot speak of this.
As if my lips are magically, enchantedly sealed. I would never speak a word to another soul.
And no one needs to know about anything I did on the stone.
I don't know what you're doing with your fingers, but they're quite convincing. But very distracting.
Ash is just wishing that he would have taken up enchanting.
Yeah.
I can't burn this person alive right now. Look,
Is it a gang?
back home, I am a member of a certain group.
So, it was a gang. Of course. Understand. Please go on. I did not mean to interrupt.
No, you're right, Jimothy. It's a gang. I'm a member of a gang.
Oh, of course. Well, go on. Tell me more about it. Perhaps we could, if you were to share some more details, we could try to find a way to protect you. Perhaps even scare off any of those pursuers or
Well,
what
Jimothy,
I dare do say this.
I'm part of a gang, so I don't know if I'm the one who needs protection.
Oh, I believe you know as well as I do. No one could ever take on this fierce caravan. We'll be fine.
Jimothy, let's just leave it at I have people I'm involved with, and it's best that the others don't know.
You're involved in a gang and it's secret.
A secret.
It's like a
It's a
clandestine
secret gang.
Listen. I'm going to drop the veil here for a second. I want you to know, most people think of Timothy as, whatever. He's just a little court jester, something like that. Nothing to be feared. But listen here, dear boy. I am nothing to be trifled with. What I'm seeing here is trouble that could perhaps jeopardize this whole journey, and that is not what I'm going to have. I have come this far, and I will make it to my own goal, and I will not have anyone stop me. Not some petty little child. He will tell me what the heck is going on right now.
I'll tell you what. Right now, we have our one and only tracker and guide in these parts.
Speak up just a little bit, Eric.
Sorry.
Yes, I can't quite hear you.
For the audience.
Right now, we have our one and only guide in these parts. They need help. I came to you for help, and I intend to get it. So you can either help me, or we can be done with this conversation.
So, you have a contact, a colleague, somewhere out here on the same journey, or in one of these parts, perhaps? Is that what you're trying to insinuate?
At this point, Jimothy, I just want you to fucking follow me so we can help Firla out. Do you understand?
I think we come to a good agreement, something that we could both have some sort of mutual understanding. Here's what I'm going to need to have from you. I will keep your little secret. We do not need it to involve anyone else in our group here. I will make sure that if you get backed into a corner, you will make sure that Uncle Jimothy will have your back in this one. But if you find that I perhaps need a little bit of a cover-up or someone to corroborate a story here or there, I'm going to give you a signal. And you're going to help me. Now, aren't you? Because, you see, if some secret of my own were to come out, I would become distressed. And if I would become distressed, I don't know what I would do. Or perhaps I might just start spilling secrets willy-nilly, you know? Secrets not even of my own, perhaps. Someone that might be a part of a gang. As we both know, it's not a gang. I've been around this block more than once, after all. I know there's something that you're hiding. Something a bit more deeper down this hole. So if you want it to stay a secret, I think that we'll have to come to a mutual understanding, won't we?
I think I understand you.
Of course! Let's shake on it.
Ash walks away immediately towards Firla.
Now then, let's help our dear Firla.
Excellent. All right, good stuff. Woo! Nothing totally revealed, but getting there.
God
And
damn it.
Jimothy of all people!
I got what I was looking for, though. I got leverage, and that's all I need.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what the secret is.
So
just enough.
Jimothy will keep the secret, what is known so far,
Right,
as long
and
as
he is-
Ash helps out when Jimothy.
There's gonna be a wink and a nod, as in like.
Okay.
Nod.
And I'm like,
Okay.
wow, you came to the wrong guy to help convince people of
All right,
things.
guys.
It's a new record!
Yeah. It is
Sorry for the cold, guys.
be cold out there.
It'd be cold.
That's pretty fun.
That was a wonderful role play, you guys.
We heard volume.
yeah.
I didn't hear words.
It's fun.
Firla, we're gonna heal you.
Yeah. Yeah, so ultimately they did come to some sort of an agreement, and Firla, you're like in wherever you are, and these two.
So I come over to Firla and
Probably be
attempt.
Thanos.
I'm in a meditative state because I did that. Will based.
I approach them sort of very slowly, see that, and I just start to try and get to work and let's see if I can roll better this time. Yeah, a little better.
What are you rolling with enchantment or survival?
Academics.
Okay.
So that's a
I got academic.
a 2.
All right, and then we can snake oil.
Yeah, we snake
So
oil.
I'm in a meditative state with the express
2,
purpose
4,
of to
6.
do this, and then we could. Well, wait, we've got
You
6.
could, I mean,
well,
you
we
could,
should
you
beat
could
it.
plus 1 me with academics. Since
Yeah,
you're
that's
also
what we
helping
need.
out.
Yeah.
I got academics.
Right.
We came. Came
Okay,
in,
cool.
helping out, dear Uncle Jimothy.
Perfect.
Doing great.
All
I
right,
really
so
hope that name doesn't stick.
my severed arm gets renamed.
How long does it take for it to actually be reduced to the next?
A whole scenario.
Yeah. So it's renamed and it stays as a 6 right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's a. I think it's still a severed arm.
Yeah. Is it I don't know, cauterized or?
Well, it probably before was just a
Don't look at
Open
me.
wound.
Yeah, I think we probably
Yeah.
cleaned up the wound and sort of like applied the salve.
Yeah.
And like
Dressed amputation.
Yeah, yes, perfect. Dressed amputation.
It was his left arm.
Go down to it stays a 6.
Yep.
Is it just less of a?
It's like it's healing in that at the end of a scenario it'll get reduced down to a 4.
Oh, okay.
So it's ultimately it's not really any better at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
But it has been treated and now it just needs to.
And narratively it's different, right? Like if I say I had a broken arm, right? And then then we treated it and then it's a splinted arm. Then it's like different narratively whether it can
You
be
still
compelled
can't use
against
that
you.
arm. Yeah, but it's not. Okay,
it's not
cool.
as bad, yeah.
All that.
Well,
that.
while these guys are busy doing that, I'm walking over to.
I just have to say for a moment that I think it's really funny that every week I have these fights planned and I'm like trying to put you guys in peril and the drama. But I mean at this point I'm cool with leaving the table set up and we do this whole crazy fight next week.
Yeah.
Because we only have 20 minutes or so 30 minutes left, so we can just dig in the drama. But I just think it's hilarious that you guys are so into your little interactions with the characters.
Too much.
I keep telling Kirby that I'm gonna kill somebody, but you guys just won't stop like talking in your drama.
But it's great for when we finally die.
It's great, totally. It's rich. We're meeting the characters right now, and for that matter, not that we really need to force it, but let's keep in mind that we do also have other people with us. We've got Babs and Dolph and so on, right? These other supporting NPCs are here too. If anybody wants to interact with them or have them be meaningful in any way, it is more than just your main NPCs.
Can I ship Dolph and Babs?
Favorite is
I
with
want to
it.
start that.
Where's the context for this ship?
Do you need one for a crack pairing?
You're talking to the shipper
I am
of all
a
ships.
semi-professional fan.
They're basically
so.
like we haven't even like touched on them. There could have been a whole adventure. They found like maybe Babs dropped a handkerchief. Dolph picked it up, handed it to her, gave her a nice smile. She kind of reacted.
Yeah.
a
So
little
this
bit
is the status I am with that couple. Could I write the fanfic? Absolutely. But why would I?
Well, I'm going to establish a first thing right now is that while you guys are all sitting at the campfire, you're surprised to hear like the sudden strumming of an instrument, and you look back at the wagons, and Dolph is there, kind of kicked up with a leg up, and he's got like a small lyre that he's
Hell yeah, Dolph.
playing to himself.
Isn't he he's our animal handler?
Craftsman.
Or yeah, he's our
He's
craftsman.
He's your fixer.
a resident hunk.
Yeah.
Dwarf.
He's a handyman. He's like glistening.
He's a dwarf. He's got those super like stubby sausage fingers, but they're amazingly dexterous as he's playing this instrument.
so strong.
You recognize it, in fact, as a dwarven travel song.
Nice. Which gives me the courage to Lhanji's tent.
To what?
Head to Lhanji's tent.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Lhanji's not in the tent.
Is
Especially-
Navius there?
Oh yes, Navius is at the tent to receive visitors.
Yes, I was hoping to speak with Lhanji.
Navius gestures. Lhanji is on a wagon bench listening to the music and observing all of you.
I want to ship Navius and just skipping right around.
You're kind of spraying and praying with the crack ships here.
Yeah.
Ships.
There's a formula to this.
Listen, I'm still new to this.
I come here, guy.
I mean, if you guys had been in here for that conversation, you might be pitching a ship between Jimothy and Ash, because that was really intense.
Oh my! It's gonna end up being the best, like, unlikely buddy cop ever. They hate each other, but god damn it, don't they work well together?
Well, I guess I go back to the fireplace. Sit down.
Navius just said that she wasn't there.
Yeah,
Oh,
near.
he gestured to where she was.
Yeah, so I go over there.
Okay, gotcha.
Beautiful stuff, right? Whenever I sit down next to Lhanji, it's dwarven.
Still don't know what you're talking about.
The song, of course.
I was with you.
Of course you were. I expect our travels will get worse and worse from here on out.
How brilliantly optimistic of you.
In fact, I am pretty optimistic generally, but you know.
Optimistic and, if I might be so bold, a bit straight-laced, Yiirik.
Well, as a businessman, no. Over the years, I guess I have become a little stern with my words.
Stern is the perfect word. Quite a venerable chap you're shaping up to be. How old are you, Yiirik? Is that rude to ask a dwarf's age?
I don't think so. I rather like my age. I'm 45.
This motherfucker is as smooth as his cream.
A 45-year-old dwarf is like a baby.
I'm sorry. In my world, it's all normal ages.
Okay.
I don't like the whole people live for hundreds of years while others live for.
I'm old as shit. What's your
I just can never wrap my head around those characters interacting with one another in a way that feels
Agreed.
real.
Agreed.
An elf that has lived for like 500 years versus
like
a
an
human that's
8-year-old
lived for 20. It's like
12-year-old.
and the fact that they can be on the same level at all,
Yeah.
right? It just doesn't work. So you guys are normal ages, human lifespans. The kingdom of men.
I expect you have assessed why I've come to see you. To resume our conversation we had on the boat.
Well, shoot.
Firla has not only endangered us, lost us serious supplies, but has also lost an arm, which, mind you, I am extremely sad about. I just can't foresee her going forward. What say you?
Lhanji is gonna fumble around and get a pipe lit and start smoking.
Yeah. Some
Lady after my own heart.
halfling
Some North Farthing
Yeah.
pipeweed.
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 They're trouble, I'll grant you that. That wasn't, by any stretch of the imagination, the best way things could have gone in Ekshaw. But
This is Dolph singing.
fucking angelic!
He's having some troubles around some of the notes.
Or is it Babs that has joined in?
Is that the official ship?
There's the ship.
Wait, which one is Babs your animal handler?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. The carpenter and the horse.
Jockey?
They'll be the ones that'll survive, and they'll go on to have a great lineage of warriors in their
They're weirdly
Way to the
like
west.
touching one another.
Daps. Oh man, this
I
is
don't
great.
think so. I don't think
No! Daps! I like Daps.
I'm gonna have to. No.
What? Would you rather both? I'm not gonna have
Balls at that.
doing both.
It was such a bad suggestion. The tower collapsed when you said it.
I'm going with Baps. No, Daps. There we go.
How did you read the situation in Ekshaw? Master merchant? It's crummy, y'all. Things are rough.
How did I read the situation? We had successfully secured quite a bit of goods for our party until a random live vine
Let me stop you there.
assassinated someone.
Random?
Indeed.
random.
A creature I certainly don't understand.
But its actions were clearly provoked.
No. I could insult you right now. You wouldn't behead me.
I didn't say its actions were to scale with the accusations leveled.
How did I read the situation?
You think Firla deserved to lose an arm?
Honestly, I feel as if it were in my home, we would all have lost our lives. I want to be here, but I want to trust that this party is safe and can get us to our destination.
That I have no
Will this
doubt
read
of.
forward or backwards?
Tourist.
It seems you may
forwards.
have missed, or for some reason you will share with me, discounting the fact that Firla was called a curse of the land. And there was clearly some sordid history between them and the city. I don't at all think that's a fair circumstance on which to judge Firla's character.
But killing someone is fair price to judge.
Very close. It actually says trust, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's not what we're trying to talk about, right?
It is. You're saying that you need to trust.
We're talking about cert. I want to
Cert.
go one level above trust.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that there was a difference. I thought that it was referencing the same thing.
In the Numenera campaign, we wrote trust on a card to imply it to the audience, but we
unlike
didn't know that
Josh,
the camera was
we were
flipped.
unable of inverting the image.
So it said to cert, but then we decided to cert is an abbreviation.
Teamwork.
Okay, I missed that. I didn't realize that it was okay.
Yeah, search.
Teamwork.
Makes the dream work.
Something.
No, I'm like, what, sincerity?
It was we decided to make it an acronym for all these different things.
Digdia, tell us what the true meaning of cert.
They'll come through. Don't worry.
Yeah. So you said a life is a fair judge of character, taking a life?
Seems to be a fair judge of character. I'd like you to convince me not to turn my wagon around now.
Your deal is with
Guess.
me, Master Milksmith. If you
But my
turn
life
and
is in the hand of
leave,
this
you are
company.
exhibiting a lack of confidence in my ability to manage my people.
Truth, sharing, understanding, respect, trust.
Trust is also.
It's hilarious that trust is on the list.
But it's the last one.
Yeah.
So it then starts the
That's great.
Cert.
Thanks to Kirby
It
and a
starts
hoodie
over
for-
again?
yeah.
But in
It's
backwards?
endless.
It goes backwards then?
It's recursive. It's a recursive acronym. Recursive.
That's terrible.
Recursive numenary. Recursive.
I think Lhanji's gonna have to make a roll.
Yeah, I'll do it. We got +3.
Are you commanding Our Lady to make you dinner? It's willpower?
Yep.
Which I have 9.
Or empathy. Well, no, that's deceive. Sorry.
I got a 2. You narrowly succeed.
Lhanji will always take a narrow victory over a failure.
It was with mild flair, not style.
It was with 0 flair. It was a graceless victory.
For some reason, I really like you.
Hard eye at the dice.
For some reason.
I get that a lot.
It's just that sparkle in your eye.
Well, enjoy the music. It's dwarven, you know.
Zing!
Excellent.
He walks off.
Cool.
Ash.
You guys traveling for another day?
Yes.
Anything-
for
any
the
other
rest of the
conversation
night,
that needs to
Lhanji
happen?
stares darkly at Firla.
I think we need to update our map
The
here.
map.
I'm cooking while you're mapping.
Yeah. So I was imagining that it was around 5 days travel to Northgate Hold. So This is going to be day 3. So
I assume a a 5 succeeds.
with style.
Awesome.
And then on our grand journey map, I need to update.
My pipe.
Holy! We went so far!
We're really close.
I hadn't updated
You're
the.
so
I know.
good, man. I hope we don't have any mountains that we have to scale that are really slow us
I know.
down.
I
We're
think it's easier from here.
Yeah, it's only gonna get easier.
Well, so says Firla, so.
We got another boost.
think
I don't know if
Firla
we
said
added
that.
on to that or created a brand new one.
I guess we could add on.
I'd
to
be
it.
cool with adding on to it. I think that's simpler.
More food for the soul.
Cool.
Nice.
Groovy.
Or you could rule that if we don't use it in that day, then it's gone.
I report that we have one more day's worth of food to the company before we run out.
I would go out scavenging.
Cool.
Navius goes with you for teamwork.
Yeah.
Alright.
So who all wants to scavenge? Is it just Firla and Navius?
Lexi.
I think the Snowvine is too.
Yeah, man. The power team.
The Snowvine at this point has completely decomposed the guard that was killed.
Excellent.
Except there is like a jawbone that's like lodged in it.
That's really cool. I want that to
for
be
reasons.
like. Oh, you've seen Annihilation, right? You know that the.
Yes.
Bear? I kind of like am envisioning like
I
that,
don't
where
know.
like its claw would have been.
Man. Oh yeah, the bear.
I got a 3. Well,
Book is so good.
a 3, and then I have how many people helping me?
Navius.
One
Navius,
Alexi.
Lexi,
present.
And the Snowvine.
President.
Okay.
So I got a 6.
Okay. Yeah, you succeed. I think you succeed with style.
Damn right.
Cool. And do I do multiple checks for it, or?
Yeah. So, I guess so. Yes, ultimately you do, but I wasn't as necessarily seeing that it's like one person making all of the checks, but I suppose. I suppose that works.
Use now.
But I guess before you do anything more, I need to attack you. Or attack someone.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Attack someone.
You've not seen
So,
Annihilation?
as you guys are.
Annihilation.
Just a moment. Pulls.
Look up Annihilation. Wow. Maybe you should watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I just watched the whole thing.
You really should just watch the whole thing.
You should probably just be.
Turn off that music.
This very condensed thing is like
Yeah, you guys are out searching around, and
balls and kills one of the people.
you encounter a couple of orcs
Is missing. The bear
and a couple of scouts,
gross.
and one of them shoots.
Scouts.
We're fighting, y'all.
Alexi,
I forgot the bear.
there's an arrow coming your way from an orc.
Oh,
Because you guys are out scavenging.
I've also heard the book.
Oh.
The book was way better.
Oh, I rolled the wrong dice, that's why.
What am I
The movie
rolling?
was weird.
You're rolling a defense.
And
Oh, hey, you're keeping that roll, right?
Better. It's very
You're
different.
keeping that roll, right?
Yep, of course.
And it's a trilogy, so it has like way more.
we went to
But
see
he
it
did
'cause
roll the
someone
wrong
was
dice.
a fan of the book.
Yeah.
And all the
I won't be
rest of
making
us
that
were
mistake
like,
again.
Why did we go see this movie?
Yeah,
What's my
yeah. The book is really good.
What am I rolling
I'm
with?
glad
Defense, fight, I think, probably.
Well, I have a 3 then.
Yeah, you succeed, so you do not take the damage. So you can roll again for a lap.
Athletics? Can I dodge with athletics?
I don't think everybody needs to dodge. I don't think,
I'm
I think
rolling
it's just
again for the
one
next-
person. It's just
Okay.
exactly.
So we
survival.
like ran away from them and then continued scavenging.
So like Nick and Kayla's. Brandon and Jessica.
Yeah, I guess it is a little weird to think of it that way, but maybe it's not necessarily that this is happening like in order, but more so that along the way at some point a fight breaks out. So it's like, how much did you scavenge before the fight and before you returned?
Okay, I got a 7 this time if everybody's helping me.
Yeah, that you will succeed. Style again.
Style is as style does.
And who else is there? Navius.
Yeah.
Navius is taking arrows coming at him.
Arrows.
2. So he needs to defend. Got a 2 against him.
Defending with athletics.
Or fight.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, fight more so.
Yes, excellent. +4.
Okay. Yeah, he does not take damage.
You defend with style.
All right. So one more check, Keith, to see if you succeed.
Maybe it's cut the arrow.
Survival.
No.
Splits it right down the middle.
No.
No.
8.
No, while he's tweaking a mustache.
You have a 7 bonus?
Well, I got 3 people helping me.
Oh, right.
And then I
that is totally throwing off my numbers, so I need to think about that more. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah. We can also break off, and we would actually get more
if you were broken apart.
If
yeah.
Yeah. So, this just ensures...
It just makes it so that you're never failing. But,
yeah, totally.
But we get less food.
But also, as you guys get further, it will definitely get harder to find food, right?
Sure.
You're still in an area that's kind of got like trees and
Yeah.
you're not above the tree line yet or anything. Okay, so last attack is coming at Firla, I guess, right? Yeah, Alexi, Firla. I got a 3 against you.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
I got a 4.
Okay.
Nice it is.
So you do not take damage.
Nice
But I'm gonna say at this point, so you guys have so you scavenge like 3 times to get enough food, and on your way back you have this encounter with these orcs, right? And none of you guys take damage, but one of the orcs slips away, and you hear the blow of a like war horn. And then you guys start hearing drums. So the people that are back at the carts are hearing this pounding drumming sounds.
Shit.
Yeah. So you guys actually can continue to scavenge if you want to, but it could make matters worse.
No, I think we're running back to the caravan with all of our shit slung over our shoulders. All this food that we've managed to scavenge.
Okay.
All of our mushrooms.
Did we make it with all of our food, or did the freaking
scallions.
vine eat something again?
No, I'm not compelling it.
The vines
So how many invokes did you bring back?
So I had 3 success with styles, I think.
Yeah.
Which was
It's 2 normally, so 3 for a successful
3 invokes. So
style.
I'm bringing back
So
9 invokes, Daniel, of food,
I can definitely cook with this.
which is the equivalent of 2 days.
2
of
days,
food.
and a little bit more.
Is.
Yeah. So that seems to be working out all right so far.
3 if I cook well.
You guys aren't having to do that too often.
Yeah, the vine is still eating that guard. he's still
Damn it.
getting the last bit of meat out of that.
All right, so people that are back at the camp, you guys are hearing these war drums, and they're building.
Oh shit.
Daniel, I would say you definitely recognize these as orcish. You fought in the giant war, and even though that was mostly giants, orcs were definitely involved.
Yes. This is bad.
These are definitely giants. Alexa, you encounter the orcs, but as you're hearing these drums, you're like, this is an orc war band. It is a large number of orcs, and
You're smacking your head.
and you guys are gonna need to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, so as soon as I hear this, I'm packing. We're packing now.
All right. So before we go to the break, I think it'd be cool to just figure out like who all is loaded into what thing, so that when we get get here for next week, we're just like hitting the road.
Yeah, we could figure that out off stream.
Yeah. So I think that's it for now, guys. The drums,
Orc war band.
drums are pounding.
Alright,
You're hearing the howls of orcs and maybe bigger things.
Oh.
Perhaps even giant things.
Yeah. So next week we will be on. If you guys you can see this terrain in front of us here, I set up this wild dwarven forge build here. This is going to be a high octane chase scene through the mountain passes, precarious cliffs, fording rivers, dodging boulders, all with an orc war band on your tail.
Sick.
And Kirby, please come back because I promise someone will die next week. I promise. Someone will die next week.
He sent an army after
I mean,
us,
and it would have happened this week if, you know,
We weren't so dramatic.
if it wasn't just so damn dramatic.
Kirby, I know you're here for the drama.
Josh,
so.
don't you know who you've asked to be at this table?
Yeah, I know. And I
The
love
most
it.
dramatic.
No, honestly, it makes me really happy because a big fear of running this campaign for me was that it's a trip off to the middle of nowhere where there's no one to talk to, and so what's the roleplay opportunity? So that was the whole idea of having all these contacts and all these other characters is that it makes it a rich opportunity for role playing. So
Kirby,
thank you guys for like grabbing onto it and being into it.
Oh yeah. Sick. Can't help it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
The game lends
We are, stay tuned because we're going to be raiding Welcome Party RPG, which is a great group that I've been playing on Tuesday, every other Tuesday evening with. So they're into some D&D goodness. So give them some love when you get there. And we're going to do a pose break. Stay tuned for next week. Thanks for joining us, guys. Give us a follow if you've enjoyed what you liked. And we'll catch you all on the flip.